Good morning. Good morning to all. Already we started later Mughals. In that, if you see, as I said, early Mughals and later Mughals. Yes. In that, some are the later Mughal rulers. Yes, some are the later Mughal rulers. In that, we mentioned of this. Nearly 9 rulers are here. So in that, we discussed of Bahadur Shah I. We discussed that, right? So what were the activities of the Bahadur Shah I? We already discussed about Bahadur Shah I, right? During that period, whatever the incident happens, that also we discussed in this. And the next ruler is the Jahandar Shah. Note it, Jahandar Shah. So these are all the 6 rulers, 9 rulers. Their pictures here, the Bahadur Shah, and here is the Jahandar Shah. Yes. So what manner? Already I said in the last class is that if I didn't mention particularly about the nature of the death, you always presume that the ruler died naturally. So unless until I mentioned of the nature of the death. Okay. So here is this Bahadur Shah one died naturally. Don't write that things. Okay. Next is Jahandar Shah. So write the years 1712 to 1713. First point. He came to power. He came to power with the help of a Mughal minister here. Next is Zulfikar Khan. Mughal minister Zulfikar Khan. Yes, now I have to discuss of the concept. Yes, listen. So why particularly this leader means you all knew very well. If it's a ruler is supported by the ministers. You just imagine the royal court. In the royal court, the ruler would occupy in the raised platform, and that opposite side, on either side of this, just adjacent in opposite side, on the either side, you can see the ministers. Yes, so many ministers are there. And you think of current political scenario. Normally we do have so many political parties, political ideological differences among the so many parties, but sometimes within the party itself ideological difference would be there. Within the party itself split would be there. Even some ministers within the party is not liked by some group of ministers. The same kind of things happened since whose period is Jahandar Shah. So you keep it, you write it, right? During later Mughals, you write it, ministerial faction happened. Note it down. After writing this person, write it, ministerial faction. Or commonly in book they have given use the word faction among the Mughal nobility. They use the word faction among the Mughal nobility. So ministers started, keep it in mind, the ministers should have unified and they should have supported the ruler for the growth. But here, instead, ministerial faction happened. Understood? Pakka ministerial. Yes. So here, this is what. So keep it in mind. This is also very important. During Babur period, during Akbar period, ruler was risen very powerful. Akbar was strong, so he controlled the ministers. But during this period onwards, what happened is ministers controlled the ruler because of ruler was very weak. That's why keep it in mind. Another name of the later Mughal is weaker Mughal. Go back to the unit and note it down. So weaker Mughals. Later Mughals are also called weaker Mughal. Why they are also called weaker Mughal means here ministers controlled the ruler. Even if you see the recent movie Panipat, I think many should have seen the movie Panipat. In the Panipat itself, the Mughal ruler was controlled by minister, two ministerial faction. In that, one of the ministers only invited the Ahmad Shah Abdali. He joined with Ahmad Shah Abdali. If you have watched the movie Panipat, definitely you would have seen that. Yes. So here This is what, with this so many faction, keep it in mind. So ministers started to faction, and listen, one group of minister was headed by Zulfikar Khan, keep it in mind. Another group of minister headed by whom we will discuss. Okay, so listen, this group of ministers headed by Zulfikar Khan supported a person, Mughal family person. That person came to power. His name is Jahandar Shah. Here the picture, Jahandar Shah. That's why first point, just a single point, Zulfikar Khan, this much of explanation. Understood? You have to note it down, whatever I said. This is important. Okay, listen. If one group of persons support Zulfikar Khan came to power, that Jahandar Shah came to power, mean this would not be liked by other group. Am I right? Who was the other group? What happened is, carefully listen, Jahandar Shah ruled just for a year. What happened is, the another group is there, the another group ministers killed Jahandar Shah. So you write it, this was not liked by another group, write it. Another noble groups headed by Syed brothers. Headed by Syed brothers. Who are the Syed brothers? Since I mentioned plural, you write it. One is Hussain Ali Syed, another is Abdullah Syed. So here the brothers, other group is waiting. Okay, time. First we have to kill Zulfikar Khan. They successfully killed the noble Zulfikar Khan. Next what they did, they were waiting for an opportunity to kill the Jahandar Shah. They killed it. So keep it in mind. Hereafter, complete ministerial faction happened. It's none other than, you just keep it inner party struggle. Within the party itself, one or two faction would be there, likewise. So one group under Zulfikar Khan, another group under Syed brother. With the help of Zulfikar Khan, he came to power. With the Syed brother, he was killed. Now it is up to the turn of Syed brother to install the next ruler. The next ruler is Farooq Sayer. I will come back, okay, a little bit later. This is what Jahandar Shah. But before that, one information, we have to, additional information we have to discuss about Jahandar Shah. You write it, he abolished, under Jahandar Shah, next point you write it, he abolished jizya tax. He abolished jizya tax. Yes. So here I have to discuss of the jizya tax. What is jizya tax? Note it down. It is a tax imposed on non-Muslims in a Muslim country. Imposed on non-Muslim in a Muslim country. So keep it in mind, I commonly use the word. So in a Muslim, not now, once upon a time, not now, medieval India, when survival of the fittest, when religious domination was the forefront, even now also many are doing politics in the name of religion, that's different. But medieval period, all did politics in the name of religion. Religion first, politics second. That was the nature of medieval. So here, if you see here is, right, he abolished jizya, so it's a tax imposed on non-Muslims in a Muslim rule. Keep it in mind. In India, Muslim rule, non-Muslims are Hindus. That's why in some book it is mentioned that it is a tax imposed on Hindus in Muslim in India. It's not just against the Hindus. It is levied against all the non-Muslim people. Okay. So such a tax is called, what tax is? This jizya. But I mentioned that Jahandar Shah abolished. Then who introduced this tax? This is important. Type it. Who introduced this tax? Oh. Here, Syed brother name, Hussain Ali Abdullah Syed. Hussain Ali Syed, Abdullah Syed, here itself is there. That alone. Yes, type it. Who introduced the jizya tax? Yes. So who introduced the jizya tax is, so we are going back like a flashback. what I discussed during the Shivaji period, Sambhaji, so and so, so and so. So likewise here again the flashback. Again you write it, then you put it inside the box, you write it. In 1678, don't by heart this year, just for your where you are. For that alone I am giving the year, don't by heart this years, okay? And even one thing, never by heart this years. Right, no need to by heart any of the rulers of later Mughal. But you have to by heart the early Mughal rulers. All the 6 rulers, up to Aurangzeb you have to by heart it. Later that, don't by heart it, just for continuity, because this arrangement is not mentioned in any topic, any book. Only thing is our class notes. Only for that, I forced to give the year, but don't by heart the years of later Mughals, okay? So, who introduced? Shall we discuss? Yes. 1678, Aurangzeb abolished it. Reintroduced it. That's the right thing. In 1678, Aurangzeb reintroduced. Okay. Even I said that, right, Jahandar Shah abolished much earlier, Aurangzeb reintroduced. If it is before Aurangzeb, some person must have abolished it. Then going back, write it. 1564, Akbar abolished it. Akbar abolished it. So even Akbar also abolished. If it is so, who actually introduced is around 1210, you write it, or around 1200. Around 1200, Kutubuddin Aibak. Kutubuddin Aibak introduced this tax. Aibak introduced this tax. Yes, this is what you put it inside the box. Now you do one thing, you come to, you put your car in forward gear. Whatever I said is in reverse gear, now forward gear. Around 1200, Aibak introduced. 1564, Akbar abolished. 1678, Aurangzeb reintroduced. Here, 1712 or 1713, who abolished it is the Jahandar Shah abolished it. That's all. Complete picturization of jizya is over. That's why I said first 2 units alone would take much time. Once we completed first 2 units, 3, 4th, 5th, 6th units are very easy. Right. So such a good person called Jahandar Shah, but what happened is the Jahandar Shah was murdered by Syed brothers. Okay. Now listen. It is up to the Syed brother to choose one person from that Mughal family, and they successfully chosen, right, what person is this person. Third, later Mughal, you write it, Farooq Siyar. Farooq Siyar. And note it down the years of the Farooq Siyar. Taken first point, under Farooq Siyar. He came to power. He came to power with the help of Syed brothers. Help of Syed brothers. Second point, it's very interesting. He was killed by the same Syed brothers. It seems to be interesting. When he came to power with the help of Syed brothers, at the same time, killed by the same Syed brother. Why? What's the reason? It's simple. Initially, when Syed brother installed Farooq Siyar, good rapport. Between the two persons, good rapport was there. But in course of time, what happened is ruptured relationship. Am I right? Initially good. Even friendship, even the boyfriend, girlfriend, lovers, that also. Initially relationship would be good. When you started to have close relationship, then only you would come to know of the negatives. In course of time, what happened is, he is doing like this, she is doing like this. Then relationship would be ruptured. The same thing happened. Even by this time, if normalcy existed, means all the people should have come to Chennai and the hostel facilities would be there. Even you could see the hostel life. Hostel mates are there. First 2 to 3 people join together, mean initially close relationship. Please use my paste. Please use my cosmetics. 1 or 2 days they would provide. If it is more than 1 week or 2 weeks, mean they started to call to the ma, that girl is always asking this one, and immediate rupturing of relationship. So the same thing happened here. That's why the Farooq Siyar was killed by Syed brothers. And do you know, it is up to the Syed brother to choose another ruler. They successfully have chosen this ruler. Why I am saying is, I will come back about the Syed brothers. Okay. So this is what the short span of life of Farooq Siyar came to power with the help of Syed brothers, killed by the Syed brother. But one important thing I must discuss here is this year, this information, by heart it, right? Very, very important, right? You write it. This is the last point under Farooq Siyar in 1717. This is most important. In 1717, he means here Farooq Siyar. Since we are discussing everything under Farooq Siyar, you note it down. He gave royal farman or golden farman. Royal farman or golden farman taken to English East India Company. Simply you write EIC to English East India Company. Okay, this is what royal farman. What the royal, actually what is royal farman? Farmans mean order. Note it down. Whenever you come across the word farman mean order. Farman mean Persian word, equivalent English word is order. Even Jodha Akbar movie you might have come across this. Sometimes Hrithik Roshan, my farman, he would used to say like this. Farman is a Persian word, equal is it's a royal charter. Otherwise in Bahubali, Ramya Krishnan, my sasan, what is my order? That is my vachan is the order. That became the law. Likewise, she used to say, so here royal charter, royal order. What is the charter, sir? Means what the royal order, why it's called golden farman. Golden farman mean it didn't mean that it was given in the gold leaf. It is not written in the gold in golden ink or not in the golden pen. Okay, golden means that means golden year. Likewise, so what the order says mean it exempting the company from paying tax. What tax mean? Internal tax. Internal tax, you have to use the word duty. Internal trade duty. It exempts the company from having the internal duty or internal tax. Understood? So that is here important one. So this is what here. So royal, actually this internal duty in later course of time is called as dastak. Note it down. Dastak. So it's a duty exemption. It means that they are exempted from paying the internal tax. That is called dastak. Keep it in mind. If you don't know this dastak, it's difficult to study of Battle of Battle of Buxar. So in 1717, Farooq Siyar gave golden farman. What is the golden farman mean? Through that, farman means order. The order says English East India Company throughout the Mughal territory, not throughout India. Throughout the Mughal territory, you no need to pay any internal duty. So don't confuse this customs. Customs is external. Here is internal. Within Mughal territory, if any trade was taken by the company, mean company no need to pay any tax. Even today also sales tax is there, GST is there. If your goods is moved from one state to another state, you have to pay the tax at the entry point of the state. If I produce a goods in Tamil Nadu, if I send it to Manipur means, right, while entering into the Manipur, you have to pay the tax. Otherwise, every state, whenever my goods is entered, I have to pay the tax. But such a tax was avoided. Such a thing is called dastak. Nothing, sir. Dastak or royal order mean it was written on a leaf or it was written on a cloth with the royal insignia. Insignia mean royal stamp. If you show it, okay, it's an order, okay, exemption. It's like a GO, simpler. So that was given by Farooq Siyar. Actually, this is the great opportunity for the company. Why? Whether when French East India Company and Dutch East India Company paid the tax, but English East India Company was exempted. That was one of the reasons for the improvement of the trade of the English East India Company, especially in the Bengal region. Okay. So this is what you have to know. Now question, $1 million question. What is a $1 million question here is Why particularly to the English East India Company that royal charter was given is very interesting. Okay, so it's very interesting. Why particularly to the company is that to 1717 mean 1717. Yeah, one day there was a severe stomach pain for Farooq Sir. Openly to say dysentery. Openly to say, okay. In those time, if dysentery happened, there is no medicines actually. Then what is the way out? It has to stop by itself, otherwise death. This is the only two choices available. Two important rulers died because of dysentery. Do you know? The two powerful ruler of India died. One is Chhatrapati Shivaji died because of that, and another is the great Akbar, Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar, died because of dysentery, uncontrolled dysentery, so they died. Okay, now such a problem happened to Farooq Sir also. Farooq Sir stomach pain. This information reached the company. The company had Western medicine, right? Immediately it sent a doctor, right? It sent a doctor to the court of Farooq Sir, and the doctor gave the Western medicine, immediately cured. For the British, it's a couple of minutes to cure such a disease. It's not at all a disease, it's a natural one. Immediately Farooq Sir considered it's a magic. Oh, great magic, what a great thing. So what he did, he started to give, okay, what do you want, company? We want trade exemption. Oh, keep it. He started to write royal charter. Fortunately, he didn't give entire India just for stopping his stomach pain. Am I right? So I am not at all saying that if the stomach pain comes, you only know how pain you face it. So that's another story. Here is the Farooq Sir. Such a Farooq Sir was killed by whom is the Syed brother. Now you see that again it's a turn of the Syed brother to choose one of the member from the Mughal family. They successfully picked up one of the puppet from the Mughal family. That is that next person. That's the next ruler. Note it. The ruler number 4 is Muhammad Shah, and popularly called Rangila. Note it down. Muhammad Shah, and popularly called Rangila. Yes, why called Rangila we will discuss later. Okay, so listen, it's very important. He also came to power with the help of Syed brothers. That's why you see that the Syed brothers were responsible for installing so many rulers. That's the reason the Syed brothers were popularly called kingmakers. Note it down. Kingmakers of modern times, early modern times. Kingmakers. Point number 1. Point number 2 is, if you see, Jahandar Shah short-lived, Farooq Shah short-lived, but Mohammad Shah Rangila ruled for many years. How was it possible, sir? Yes, means he killed Syed brothers. That's all. So either these two things happen. Syed brothers would kill the ruler if he is not at all okay. Otherwise, this ruler went one step ahead. He killed Syed brothers. That's why he ruled for so many years. This is what actually politics. What is the politics? Killing, counter killing. That's all. Otherwise, what is politics is survival of the fittest. You have to survive. There is no scope for sentiment. There is no scope for sympathy. There is no scope for sentiment, condiment. Nothing would work out. You have to stay there. How was it possible for ruling of 30 plus years? I mean, he killed the Syed brothers before Syed brothers to do so. So this is important. Though he came to power with the help of the Syed brothers. That's why Syed brothers were famously called kingmakers, but themselves were diluted. Okay, this is the point number 1 regarding Muhammad Shah Rangila, and he was popularly called Rangila. So Rang, it actually derived from the word Rangila, right? The word is Rang. Rang means what? Color, right? So why he is famously called Rang means, for that, listen. Which festival is colorful festival? Type it. Holi. Holi is related to which religious people? Is the Hindu people. It's a Holi. Colorful. What is the reason for Holi? Why we are celebrating Holi? Type it. Why are we celebrating the festival Holi? Harvesting festival, absolutely wrong. Harvesting in Jan month. Wrong. Then. Hmm. Arrival of spring. Who? Who answered? So it's very easy, yeah. Supriyo, you are right. If you are, yes, since you are from north and western belt, eastern belt, you are saying it's very, you see, it's arrival of the spring. Simple. Which month? Which month is March? Right? Exactly in the beginning of the COVID, celebrating of this Holi this year, we didn't celebrate. Any other reason of Holi? Narasimha. Exactly. Who? Name? Shruti. Exactly. Narasimha Avatar. Prahalad. Hiranyakashipu. Holika. Have you come across? So why Holi means? Holika, the sister of Hiranyakashipu, was killed when both brother and sister attempt to kill Prahalad. That's a historical, that's a religious stories there. So many reasons, right? Actually, it's a Hindu festival, but a Musalman celebrated that too none other than the Mughal Azam. Am I right? That's why he was famously called Rangila. You write it. Why he was famously called Rangila is he also celebrated Holi festival. Actually, he was a colorful man. He was a pakka colorful man, yeah. Yes. So why he celebrated Holi festival? Another reason is there. Why he was famously called right Rangila is with the picture would say thousands words. Actually, here is the Muhammad Shah. If you see the picture, you would have. It's a very colorful man. Correct? So colorful girls of all that. Even he would not live in the African girls. That's a black also colorful. Even many are saying that if some people are black, some would say, no, he's not at all looking color. Black is also a color, yeah. Right? So he has a kuka here, enjoyment man. So that's also a reason why he was also having that, right, holy Rangila means he had a colorful girls in his haram. Haram means backyard. In Dravidian language, it is called Andapura. I think you may have come across. Right, backyard or Andapura, where the colorful girls, wives, concubines, all are kept. Right, he had so many, 400, 500 plus girls in his haram, Andapura. Colorful girls, variety. That's why he was famously called Rangila. Even some historian went on to say, extend that, once he entered into the such Andapura or haram, it would take months to come out to take look after the administration. Just imagine. So that's why he was famously called Rangila. Now he was enjoying the life, enjoying with the girls, enjoying with the kuka, wine. What happened? Foreign invasion happened during his period. Who was the foreign invader? Is this fellow. Who is this fellow? Is Nadir Shah. So next point under Muhammad Shah Rangila, you write it foreign invasion. Who was the foreign invader? Is Persian. The Persian ruler Nadir Shah. Persian ruler is Nadir Shah. Here is Muhammad Shah. Yes, Persia means present day Iran. Iran, that part is the Persia. Here is the Persian region. Taken? Yes, listen. You see that. This is what exact map of Mughals at the time of Aurangzeb. Just imagine. Not imagine, just to see. The greatest extent of Mughals during the period of Aurangzeb. At the time, the Iranian cannot even enter their leg. Not only leg, even their They can't enter even that finger into that Indian region. The finger would be cut. But after the death of the weak ruler, that too the enjoyful man, Muhammad Shah, he was enjoying here. What Nadir Shah did, it easily attacked, and he was on the way to capture the imperial capital. What is the imperial capital? Is Delhi. Listen, already he was on the way. Then only our ruler woke up. Oh, okay, that person was arriving. Immediately our ruler also started to move. Listen, started to move towards this. Both the army of Nadir Shah and Muhammad Shah met at a place. It's a very famous battle. Normally a student would miss it. Right? What battle here in modern India is very, very important battle. Normally a student would miss it. You read it. Battle of Karnal. 1739. So this is the method of writing battle. Hereafter, if it is a battle, Battle of Karnal, you have to write like this and split into two. One is Nadir Shah, other side is Muhammad Shah. Who got victory, put tick. Who was defeated, put cross. Hereafter, in my class notes, you always follow these tendencies. Right? You always follow this tendency. Yes. So got it? So this is very important battle. Since I couldn't see your face, right? So that's why I'm considering that whatever I'm saying, it's reaching to you, right? So I hope we are going in a right phase, in a right manner. I think so, because no one enabled the video, so that I'm thinking that everything is going fine. I think so. Yes, right. So this is what here. One is Nadir Shah, other side is the Muhammad Shah. So I hope everything is good. Okay. So this is what here is. Listen, in this battle, Karnal, you people know Karnal in Haryana region. Yes, with this everything was not over. What Nadir Shah did it. Listen, Nadir Shah came to Delhi and occupied. Hereafter story. It's a very interesting. He came to Delhi and occupied it. Muhammad Shah was also came along with this, and now the throne. Keep it in mind. Once upon a time, the throne was adorned by Akbar, Shah Jahan, and Aurangzeb. Now such a throne was occupied by an outsider. Who was the outsider? Was Nadir Shah. Nadir Shah was enjoying in that. If you are from Delhi, it is, or from Rajasthan or a northern state, definitely you might have visited Red Fort. The imperial residential place is Red Fort. I think many from Delhi's are there. Am I right? Some Delhi's. Delhi's is UP wala. Yes. So here, what happened is occupied it, and Nadir Shah was enjoying. While he was enjoying in Delhi only, he heard of the very famous Kohinoor diamond. I think, have you come across it? Yes. So what he did, he captured the Kohinoor diamond and took away not only the Kohinoor diamond, he also took away the famous peacock throne. That is the last point. You write it under, listen, Nadir Shah, you write it. You have written Battle of Karnal and Nadir Shah got victory. Under Nadir Shah, you put like this. He took away Kohinoor diamond. Kohinoor diamond and peacock throne. And peacock throne. These two things were taken away by Nadir Shah. Kohinoor diamond is this much of big. This much of big. Even recently, one Hindi movie, Hrithik Roshan, I forgot the movie. He tried to steal the Kohinoor diamond as a robber, but at last what happened is himself as a agent. Hindi movie is there. I forgot. Badla. I forgot the movie actually. Right. Any from Hindi belt? It's a very famous Hrithik Roshan movie. Recently, 3 years or 4 years back only, that movie is there. Okay. So this is what he took away both these things. It's a great drain of health. Always keep it in mind. This is what the riyas related to whom is Muhammad Shah Rangila. Here is the Muhammad Shah Rangila. Here is the Nadir Shah. Yes. Actually, up to this alone, you have to give due weightage. After that, I will dictate the other later Mughal ruler just for continuity. Apart from that, useless, no need to. So next ruler, you write it Ahmad Shah. As I already said, unless until I say that nature of the death, you always consider natural death. But don't write every time natural death like that. Okay, next ruler is Ahmad Shah. 1748 to 54. Note it down. 48 to 54. What's the important event took place during this period? Yes. Invasion of Afghan ruler. This is what Panipat movie revolve around this invasion of Afghan ruler. If you have seen that movie Panipat, who was the Afghan ruler? Type it. Yes. Who was the ruler is Ahmad Shah Abdali. That's what you write it. Invasion of the Afghan ruler Ahmad Shah Abdali. Abdali. Ahmad Shah was the Mughal ruler. Ahmad Shah was the Mughal ruler. Abdali. Ahmad Shah Abdali was the Afghan ruler. Abdali was the Afghan ruler. That too, his first invasion. Note it down. That too, his first invasion. It means that, keep it in mind, Ahmad Shah Abdali invaded one time or more than one time. He invaded more than one time. Nearly 7 times Ahmad Shah Abdali invaded. Nadir Shah invaded only once. He left it. Nadir Shah was a Persian ruler. But Ahmad Shah Abdali was which ruler? Is Afghan ruler. From Afghanistan, 7 times he came to India. For what purposes? To plunder India's wealth. Note it down. To plunder India's wealth. Yes. This is very similar to whom is Muhammad of Ghazni. You know very well. Around 1000 AD, from Afghanistan, from the same place, a person called Muhammad of Ghazni invaded 17 times. That's a medieval part that will be discussed at length and breadth. Nearly for 17 times he invaded. And all the 17 times he successfully plundered India's wealth. That was the reason he invaded. The same way, 700 years later, Ahmad Shah Abdali followed the same method. At the time, the first invasion, who was the ruler? Was Ahmad Shah. So, during Ahmad Shah, the Mughal ruler, the first invasion of Ahmad Shah Abdali took place. That's all. Apart from that, nothing important to study of Ahmad Shah. Next ruler, write it. Alamgir II. Next ruler is Alamgir II. 1754 to 58. to 58. Taken? Yes. First one. Right. Repeated invasion of Abdali. Repeated invasion of Abdali. So first invasion, Ahmad Shah period. Even his period also he invaded. Okay. Now I have to discuss what happened, sir. Yes, listen. Whenever, yes, better. I'll take this map. Whenever the from Afghanistan, Abdali invaded, here is the Mughal territory. Mughal territory was very small now. Whenever he invaded into Mughal territory, keep it in mind, Mughal ruler escaped to the nearby kingdom. So that you write it. the Mughal ruler escaped to the nearby kingdom. Nearby kingdom. What is the nearby kingdom here is Awadh. Awadh kingdom. So this will be helpful. If you don't know this information, you can't study Buxar. So history is a pure continuity. If you attend all the 40 plus class, you just note it down. You just write, note how many classes. Out of 200 classes would be there in your entire course. 40 classes itself would be the history. I'm saying is GS people, not for optional. In GS itself, you have to attend at least 1/5 is the history part. And even if you come to optional, I will take another 60 classes. Understood? Because as of now, it's a very major subject in the case of GS. And that's why I used to say, many people are in dilemma regarding taking of the history as an optional. I used to say, if you have interest, as of now, you can easily, blindly, you can take history as a subject, optional. That will be more weightage on the GS part also. Earlier, I would not suggest, because when I was the student, less score in GS. But as of now, it's not like that. If you have just interest, otherwise, whatever I'm teaching, if it's okay with this, you can take it. This is what. Now, because why I'm saying now is, now you will have some idea about how to study history. If a same method, if I said during the current affairs session, you don't know anything about the history, at that time it would not be better. Now, you may know how to approach what is history topic in UPSC, whether it's a pure fact or it's like a story, it will be like this. Even I am giving the fact information just for prelims. If you come to mains GS and for optional, there's no need to write the years. Even I used to say, in mains, even if you forget in which year India got independence, you no need to bother. Around 1940s, India got independence. That's enough. Actually, in mains, GS and optional, you have to give more on analytical part and innovation part than on the factual part. Okay, so this is what here in this he escaped to Awadh. Okay, listen, Ahmad Shah Abdali came, plundered and returned back. When he returned back, again Awadh, from Awadh, Mughal ruler would return back and would occupy Delhi. This is a Mamul. Mamul means as usual manner, customs. So this is what here happened related to this Mughal ruler, even during Ahmad Shah period also, next Alamgir too. Apart from that, nothing to discuss. And next ruler, write it, Shah Alam II. Shah Alam II. First one. He also escaped to Awadh when Abdali attacked India. So Abdali altogether attacked India during Ahmad Shah period, Alamgir II period and Shah Alam II period. He also escaped to Awadh. This information is very, very important. If you don't know why the Mughal ruler escaped and they stay in Awadh, if you don't know this, you can't study Battle of Buxar. Okay, this is the first information. Second information, Shah Alam II is very important. Okay, second information is he participated in Battle of Buxar. Write it. He participated in the Battle of Buxar. In that you could see the place Buxar. Buxar is here. In western part of Bihar, Buxar is there. Right, year is 1764. So whenever battle, you have to write it. Buxar, 1764. Right, and you have to split it. One side is English East India Company. Other side is the three rulers. Other side three ruler. One ruler I said that Mughal ruler. Mughal ruler name is Shah Alam II. Shah Alam II. And next ruler is the Bengal ruler. Who was the Bengal ruler? Later we will discuss. Next is the Awadh ruler. We will discuss. Just to put a gap. Again, actually Buxar I have to discuss twice or thrice. Again and again we will discuss. Okay. So in this Buxar, British got victory. Actually, these are all the simple way to make notes. If you know, like this means just 5 days before the exam, 3 hours or 4 hours or in the between your breakfast and lunch, you could complete Modern India. No, sir, I would study book again and again. No, over. You are completely finished. I will study everything only in the book means what you have to do is spectrum every time you have to skip it. Otherwise, Bipin Chandra every time you have to skip it. 600 pages if you skip, that itself would become boring, that itself would become tired, and itself would become for days. That's why notes taking is very, very essential. You will realize it in course of time. When I was the student, I would beg before our seniors that, Anna, please provide the notes. Please provide the notes, right? Likewise, I will tell. Understood? So notes is very, very important. Please carefully write it. And one humble request is attend all the class, whether you are like it or not. You entered into the UPSC, you pay the fees, attend all the class, then you will enjoy all easy. Entering into service is very easy. Many would say this method, that method. There's no strategy at all. Only strategy I would say study. Studying is the only just to follow. Nothing beyond that. Even one of my students is there. She got in the first attempt itself. That too at the age of 21. When she was studying it, she was in 4th year. Throughout the 4th year of engineering itself, she studied, simultaneously managed academic as well as this UPSC. At 21, she wrote it. At 22, entered into service. Now she is in Madhya Pradesh. Yes, Madhya Pradesh cadre. At 22. If you see the girls mates, I ask, sir, whatever you say, I studied, that's all. And just to follow the exams, test and the classes. There's no magic. Only logic is study, genuinely, attend all class, write the test, you will be the top rank. Simple thing. Right? So this is what? Here British company got victory. Yes, listen. Here 3 things I have to discuss. 3 rulers were defeated. If you see 3 rulers, one is Bengal ruler, another is Awadh ruler, and another is the Mughal ruler. All the 3 rulers were defeated by company. Means all the 3 territories should have been annexed by the British, especially the Mughal territory. Now my question is whether Mughal kingdom was annexed by the British or not. Is next point you write it. Company didn't annex Mughal territory. Write it. Whether annexed Bengal territory or Awadh territory, I will come back. We will discuss later. Okay. British didn't annex the Mughal territory. Then what they did? Rather than British controlled Shah Alam too. Got it? So the company had ample opportunity to capture all the 3 territory, but what the company did, it didn't annex that territory. Rather than it just controlled the Mughal ruler. It's very interesting. Earlier Mughal rulers were controlled by ministers. Now Mughal ruler was controlled by the company. That's all. Yes. Now years had been gone. Wait. Years had been gone. 1764 we discussed. Gradually Bengal was annexed. Carnatic region was annexed. Mysore region was annexed. Maratha region was about to annex. Very much later only company annexed. Company mean here English is a company entered into the Mughal territory. This year is very important. Underline it and put it important. In 1803. This is important. Only in 1803 the company got Delhi region. Actually that is the remaining Mughal region. The company annexed or got the Delhi region. And the Mughal ruler, who was the Mughal ruler? Shah Alam II. We are discussing everything under Shah Alam II. And the Mughal ruler became the pensioner of the company. became the pensioner of the company. Okay? So it means that entire territory was taken. If territory was taken means there was no scope for ruling. If no scope for ruling means it's a retirement. Retirement means what should be given? Pension. So hereafter, not only Shah Alam II, all other rest of the Mughal rulers were given what is the pension. They were given pension here. Whether Shah Alam II, Akbar II, Bahadur Shah II, hereafter all the Mughal rulers were given pension. So beginning is the Shah Alam II. Pension means not 10,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees, 35 lakh rupees. Don't write of the amount. Why such a huge amount means? Because the ruler had a very big family, very big harem. They have to maintain such a thing. That's why such a big amount. This is what, and this is why Shah Alam II period seems to be important and seems to, and it's also interesting. That's all. Shall we go on to next ruler? Yes, right. Next is Akbar II. Akbar II. You see that name, great name, Akbar. Name is ever great. Okay, Akbar. What is the meaning of Akbar? Type. Meaning of Akbar. Great. Who sent it? Who sent it? Name? Many. Yes. So yes, whoever sent it, you are great. Okay. So what is the meaning of Akbar? Akbar means great. Yes. Then what is the real name of Akbar? Type it. If you have watched the movie Jodha Akbar, you might have come across it. What's the real name of Akbar? Huh? Supreme. Okay. Supreme. Correct. What is the real name of Akbar? Jalaluddin Muhammad. Jalaluddin Muhammad, the real name, was given the title Akbar. That Jalaluddin Muhammad was the son of Humayun. Later he was given Akbar, but this is Akbar II. This is Akbar. Try to keep it in mind. So that Jalaluddin Muhammad was great. Akbar means great. Yes, listen. Akbar means great. Jalaluddin Muhammad was given the title Akbar. Okay. Even my name, Saranamurthy. Even I will say Saranamurthy Akbar. Yes or no? Or some people, Supriyo Akbar. Yes. Akbar means what? Great. Saranamurthy, the great. Supriyo, the great. Right. Some other student are there. I am great. That's all. Even in English word, we are using the Samudragupta, the great. Napoleon Bonaparte, the great. Great. Alexander, the great. Julius Caesar, the great. Great is the English word. Akbar is the Persian word. That's all. Arabic word, not Persian word. Even in the namaz, you might have Allahu Akbar. Have you come across? Allah is their God. Akbar means great. My God is great. That's all. In that way only they are calling the prayer for Muslim brethren. Simple. But what is the problem is Saranamurthy, Hindu name. Akbar, what they are thinking, oh, how yeah, you are a Hindu, but you are keeping your Persian Urdu word. Sorry, yeah, Arabic word. This is what the biggest problem in the world. What's the word is, though if I am a Hindu, if I take the word from Arabic, I would become Muslim. In the world, this is the biggest issue, especially in India. What's the issue means? A language is attached to a religion. Yes or no? This language is for this religious people. I am Hindu. If I know very well of the Arabic, Musalman, hey, why not? Yeah, I knew Arabic. It does not mean that I should be a Musalman. Even if I may name in Arabic, it does not mean that I must be a Musalman. Okay, if a Christian is there, if he know very well of the Sanskrit, immediately he would say, "Are you a Hindu?" No, I am a Christian. But the problem is, If I know English, I should be what person? Christian. But English alone exceptional case. What nonsense of this? Okay, otherwise you keep it like this. A language is attached to a region. For if I am from Manipur, if I know Manipuri language, if I started to speak Manipuri, are you from Manipur? Not necessarily. If I know Bengali, are you from West Bengal? Not necessarily. But if I know English, I am saying that I am a knowledgeable man. No one say that I am from England. English alone exceptional. If I know English, I no need to be a Christian. I no need to a person from England. Yes or no? Right. So here I am saying Akbar the Great. Okay. That Akbar is great. But you see that this Akbar, he didn't have anything. Nothing. He was also a puppet of what? The British. But he took the pompous title Akbar too. But nothing. So for that only I explained of this. So this Akbar was XYZ person, not important, just from Mughal family. What is the problem to this Akbar? Two is the pension was not adequate. First point, right? That's a pension given by the British what? Not adequate. Okay. So what he decided it, he wanted to increase the pension. For that, listen, he wanted to send some representative to the English East India Company. Who were the highest representative of English East India Company? Type it. Who were the highest representative of English East India Company? Type. Governor General wrong. COD super. Then Queen absolutely wrong. Queen company head. Then Viceroy absolutely wrong. Board of Control absolutely wrong. Only one person is correct. COD. Who mentioned of the COD? Pujida is correct. Exactly. That's what we discussed 2 days, first class itself. The company's highest authority is COD. How many people? 24 people. Whether in London or India, in London. Neither crown would not come in this scene. Board of Control yet to form by the time. Governor General below, officer rank is very below when compared to COD. Viceroy office was not created. What I am saying, you know everything, yeah. But the problem is where your information would come. That's what. If I said some thesis in political science thesis, social thesis, you don't know because you are ground zero. But if I said something, you are typing so many information, even I have yet to taken. That's why I'm saying that history is very known subject. That's why you know what are all the problem in history. Understood? That's why you are thinking that history seems to be very tough because you know very well. If you don't know one subject very well, you are considering that it is very easy. This is the normal tendency of all the students. Right? You consider a subject is very easy. Why? You don't know anything of the subject. Good. Even may mention Viceroy, good attempt. Okay, here highest officer is the COD. COD in London, but he was in Delhi. So what he did, he picked up one good English speaking person in India. Please man, you go to London to appear before COD on behalf of this emperor. He picked up a person, a Bengal, well English spoken person from Bengal. He picked up and sent him to London. Before sending him, this Akbar too gave a title. Who was the person? What was the title? You write it. He gave the title. He gave me Akbar too. Everything you write it under Akbar too. He gave the title Raja. Raja to Ram Mohan. You have to write like this. He gave the title Raja to Ram Mohan. Don't write Ram Mohan Rai. Ram Mohan. And send him to London. Sent him to London to appear before COD for asking more pension. For asking more pension. So that's why pension, whether Raja, that Ram Mohan successfully negotiated, that didn't. Pension was not increased. Ram Mohan negotiation was failed. That is next story. Now I come back to this. So listen, his name is Ram Mohan. Now what title is added is Raja. Listen, Raja Ram Mohan. Later what title was given is Rai. That's why the full name is Raja Ram Mohan Rai. But real name is Ram Mohan. This may be asked as a GK. Raja was also a title. Rai was also a title. Okay, the parent named him Ram Mohan. Raja was the title given by Akbar II. This is expected prelims question. Rai was given by the fellow West Bengal people. Okay, Raja explanation I have given. What is the meaning of Rai? It's not Aishwarya Rai, not RAI, here ROY. Full title is Royal. Short is Rai. Understood? It means that the Ram Mohan had royal quality. That's why Raja Ram Mohan Royal, shorter Raja Ram Mohan Rai. So he had a royal quality, king's quality he had, such a noble person. That's why the fellow West Bengal friends gave the title called Rai, short form of Royal. This kinds of information you should know. Hereafter, if you ask some people, do you know Ram Mohan? No one knew. But if you ask Raja Ram Mohan, yeah, pioneer in socio-religious reform. Understood? Yes. With this, I am going to say another point also. Listen, I mentioned Royal. Right? Royal. Short form is Rai. Right. You may come across, later we will discuss about the word Viceroy. Keep it in mind. What is the meaning of Viceroy is, its full word is Viceroyal. Shorter we use the word Viceroy. This is the one very, very important topic. Right. Keep it in mind. Viceroy. What is the full name? Viceroyal. Okay. Royal na king. Listen. Viceroyal na assistant to king. It's like a president, vice president. Royal, viceroyal. Shorter, viceroyal. Instead of that, viceroy. Understood? Now I define the concept of viceroy. What is the meaning of viceroy? Whenever you come across the word viceroy, full form is viceroyal. Who is viceroy? Is assistant of a king. President, vice president. Royal, viceroyal. Shorter, viceroy. This is additional points. Got it? Yes. That's all. Akbar II is over. Actually, this is the method of studying. Keep it in mind. Okay. Next. The last ruler is Bahadur Shah Jafar or Bahadur Shah II. Bahadur Shah Jafar or Bahadur Shah II. Very pathetic. You just note it down. Here's your 1836 to 1857 to 1861. If you see only one death year alone given, but here 2 years. It does not mean that he died twice. Absolutely wrong. No one can be died twice. Okay. So here Bahadur Shah II, 1837 to 57 to 61. Here is Bahadur Shah II picture. Bahadur Shah II or Bahadur Shah Zafar. Taken? Yes. So very pathetic condition. The age-old person, keep it in mind, completely controlled by the British, utter control, pathetic man. These things will be helpful while discussing about 1847 revolt. These things will be helpful for you. Okay. So he was complete puppet of the British, and he was also getting the pension from the British. These are all other information you already know. What he did, participated in 1857 revolt. First point. Against the British. So he participated in 1857 revolt against the British. Yes. So this is what one side against the British he participated, but other side he was getting what pension from the British. That's why British got pension. What nonsense! You are getting amount, you are filling your pocket from our fund, but you are fighting against us. Am I right? It means that you are biting the feeding hand. Have you come across this statement? Always you have to keep it in mind. Never bite the feeding hand. But what British consider, so I am feeding you, but you are fighting biting the feeding hand. That's why concerned. Okay, hereafter you should not be there. That's why after 1847 revolt, he was sent. He was sent to Rangoon. He was sent to Rangoon. It is called. He was banished. This word is used. Banished. You could use the word or exiled. Exiled. That is, he was sent to another country. That is called banishment. Exiled. Exiled to Rangoon. That's in Myanmar. Rangoon, where he died in 1861. So with this, Mughal Samraj was ended. Mughal Samraj was ended in 1857. The Mughal ruler died in 1861. That's why Samraj was ended 1857. Mughal ruler, last Mughal ruler ended in 1861 at Rangoon. So with this, we successfully concluded unit number 2. Later Mughals. 9 later Mughal ruler, and with the brief introduction of the first great ruler, all the 6 ruler. All to the 15 Mughal rulers we discussed that. Actually in Mughal ruler, second part thoroughly we discussed. First part in medieval. Actually this is a method of study. Okay, actually you have to study like this, then only you would enjoy the modern India. Understood? Yes. So this is the method. Now it's very interesting. You see that who is the first Mughal ruler is Babur. Don't write. First Mughal ruler Babur, 1526. Right. Last Mughal ruler 1857, Bahadur Shah II. Here is the Bahadur Shah II. Here is the Babur. Listen, gradually Mughal Samraj started to rise and reached peak during Aurangzeb period. But later gradually started to decline and over. This is what the rise and fall of the Mughals. The demarcation is 1707. Actually, this is the method of converting a fact into diagram. This is what UPSC want. What kind of small novel innovation a student is doing, rather than simply vomiting it. And many are thinking that history is like a it's like a writing. You have to go for like this. So many picture you could do it. This is not only for Mughal, for all the rulers you can draw like this. Rise and fall. If you draw like this, and here and there 1 or 2 information, 1 or 2 important battle if you write, your answer paper would seems to be superb. Wow. If a MA history professor is correcting, Delhi University or JNU professor is correcting your answer, wow, super. The normal person would write just the factual, but this person converted the fact into the diagrammatic. He will fetch 1 more mark to answer. So just 1 more mark. Just imagine 1 more mark. Normally a student would 5 now, you will get 6. So single question you are getting 1 additional mark. 20 such a question, 20 such answer. In each answer, if you get 1 additional mark, in first 1 paper itself, you will get 20 additional mark when compared to the other student. This is what important. So paper 1, 20 additional mark. Paper 2, 20 additional mark. that is GS2, GS3 20 additional, GS4 20 additional, 80 marks. In 4 GS itself, you are much ahead when compared to the other student. This is what the work the toppers would put it. Actually, all would study the same book spectrum, Bipan Chandra or R.S. Sharma, but what way they are entering into survey means they would get one more score in a common answer question when compared to you. To a question, they will get one more mark. That's all. So 80 mark in 4 GS, 2 optional, each 2 paper, 40 marks, 120 marks, over. They will be ahead of 120 marks and they will be into service. You will not get any one of the service. Understood? So how like this? And another thing history teach you. What teach you is rise and fall is part and parcel of the life. Not only for Mughal, Delhi Sultans or Guptas or Maurya. If you draw Maurya's diagram, peak is Ashoka. After the death of Ashoka, disintegrate. If you see the Gupta up to the Kumara Gupta, Skanda Gupta reached peak. After that downfall. Delhi Sultanate up to Muhammad bin Tughlaq reached peak. After that down. Vijayanagar up to Krishna Devaraya reached peak after the disintegrate. Over. Okay, always try to go for diagram. When attend like this, I will give so many diagram, various representation, follow this. So what I am saying is this class, whatever I am taking here in GS is, that is for prelims, that is for GS, even those who are attending for optional, history, modern India wise, whatever the classes I am attending GS, the same is for optional also. For both prelims, GS as well as optional. Okay, that's all. With this, we completed 2 most important units. First unit is coming of European. See, 1498 to 1700s. 1700s we discussed. Second unit start with 1707. 1707 to 1847 we discussed. It means that in the first 2 units itself, I completely covered part 1. Am I right? If you see the part 1 up to 1847, then what is the purpose of studying 3rd unit, 4th unit, sir? Simple. 3rd unit, 4th unit, 5th unit, 6th unit, 7th unit, 8th unit. What is the 8th unit? 1847 revolt, whoever. But if you don't know later Mughals and coming of European, you can't study 3rd unit and up to 9th unit. That's why first 2 unit is lengthiest one. Got my point? Right. 5 minutes break, then we will discuss with the 3rd unit. So I'll open the 3rd unit, wait for 5 minutes, then we will discuss. Open the next unit. If you knew the first two units, third unit onwards very easy, right? So third unit you all knew very well of this, the regional kingdoms. So I have given some of the regional kingdoms. Here what we are going to discuss is why such a regional kingdom and a brief discussion of one or two regional kingdom. Today I will just try to complete the Bengal kingdom. Yes. Listen. If you see the Mughal Samraj, the first ruler was Babur. Don't write, just listen. If you know a concept, factual information is very, very easy. It's like a twinkle, twinkle, little star. If you study thrice or four times factual information, but you should know of the concept. Listen, when Babur attacked India and the first battle of Panipat, he captured India. In many books, it is mentioned he captured India. Wrong. He captured only North India. That also to some extent. Listen, this is what Mughal Samraj has started by Babur. At most, that's all. This is what Mughal Samraj of the Babur after 1526 Panipat 1. Okay, this is what he started. When he died, he gave this territory to his son Humayun. But due to the other rulers, Humayun somewhat extended. Akbar greatly extended. Right, and gradually extended. And the Mughal Samraj reached peak during Aurangzeb period. This is what Mughal Samraj during the Aurangzeb period. Just see that. This is the space where Babur occupied. This is the space where Aurangzeb occupied. And this map is what here mentioned. When Babur came to only this kind, but Aurangzeb up to this. Yes? So these are all the very basic information. As a student, you should know of this. So Babur period and Aurangzeb period. Okay? Yes. This much of territory. It's difficult for one ruler to rule entire India. Modi ji cannot rule entire India by single hand. That's why the India is divided into many states. In each state, chief ministers, governors are there. So country is divided into states for administrative purpose. In the likewise, listen, the entire empire during the Mughal Samraj was divided into provinces. Today we are calling it as a state, but during the Mughal period it was called provinces. So and so, so and so. So that is the first point, you write. In Mughal administration, the entire empire was divided into provinces. It's very similar to states. Today we see Tamil Nadu, Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir, right? Gujarat, Rajasthan. Likewise, here provinces. What are all the provinces mean? Bengal province. Don't write. Here, even in this map itself, Bengal province. Here, one of the province. Don't write. Here, that is Kashmir province, Gujarat province, Berar province, Hyderabad province. Don't write. So, likewise, province. I am comparing modern administration with Mughal Samraj. So, listen. Now, central government divided into states, various states. The center is divided into state. Listen, this is modern. In central government, two great officers. One is president, another is prime minister. Don't write. But if you come to here, Mughal Samraj, only one was great. That alone you write it, emperor. All in all. He possessed all the power. That is emperor. What is the name of the emperor? Title is Badsha. Badsha or Badsha. Either you could use the word B or B. So what is the Mughal ruler's title is Badsha. What is the Delhi Sultanate title is Sultan. That's why Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq. But you should not use the word Sultan Babar. Wrong. You have to use the word, right, Badshah. Babar, Badshah, Kasi. It should be like this. Understood? So title, he represent everything. Okay? So he was the president, he was the prime minister. That's why I said all in all. Now you come to state. Modern. In the state, governor. Am I right? CM. And the council of ministers. So many council of ministers. Very similar to that. If you come to here, various officers. That I am going to discuss. Okay? Listen. State. State is an English word. What is the equivalent Tamil word of state? Because it varies each language, lingua franca, based on that it varies. What is the Tamil word of state is Manilam. If you come to Tamil Nadu, we used to call it Tamil Nadu as a Manilam. Ma means big, Nila means land, big land. If you go to Andhra, what is the thing? Rashtra. Maharashtra. It's a state. Understood? Otherwise, Rajya. Rajya means in the sense state. If you go to north, Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, here Pradesh means state. If you come to Tamil Nadu, it is called Manilam. We used to call Tamil Nadu. State is English word. In equivalent Tamil word is Manilam. Very similar to that. Listen. The province. Province is the English word. Mughal don't know, didn't know English language. Everything in Persian. What is the Persian name of province? Is Suba. Write it. Suba is not a girl name. Okay, keep it in mind. It's not a girl name. It's not like a Subhash Chandra Bose. It's not like this. What is that provincial equivalent Persian word is Suba. It means that Bengal Suba, Gujarat Suba means province. Okay? Yes, simple. If you know Suba, who is the head of Suba? Is Subedar. Write it. So in province, who is the head is Subedar. It's a very, very important. Okay? Subedar. But sometimes if you go to Bengal and Awadh, you can't use the word, they would not use the word Subedar. Rather than they use the word Nawab. Write it. So sometimes they use the word Subedar or Nawab. That's why if you say Bengal Nawab, Mir Qasim, Awadh Nawab, Sujaud-Dawla, likewise it will be there. So province are called Suba, head of the Suba is called Subedar. Okay. It's he is very similar to governor. Subedar is very similar to governor. Okay. What are all the other officials? Like in the state, in provinces also, apart from Subedar, so who is the head of the province is Subedar. What other officers? So many other officers are there. Here I want to note it down. Only two officers. One you write it Nizam. Another important is Nizam. So each province would have Subedar. Each province would have Nizam. What is the duty of the Nizam is military function. Note it down. Actually, if you don't know Nizam, you can't study Hyderabad. Hyderabad rulers are called Nizams. Why? We will discuss. Okay. So Nizam is the military. And next is Diwan. That's a provincial Diwan. Another important official name is Diwan. What is the Diwan is revenue function. Revenue function and civil administration. Okay. Likewise, so many officers, but these three officers were there in each provinces. Please by heart these three officers. This is the core of medieval actually. If you don't know this core of medieval, it's impossible to touch the NCERT book. It's impossible to touch the spectrum book in modern time, modern area. So central government Bacha. In each provinces, three officers. Okay. So with this basic information, I am going to discuss of the regional kingdom. Listen. In each province, here three officers, here three officers, here three officers, Awadh, here three officers, Gujarat three officers were there. Why three officers? Na check and balance. No officer should rise one over another. Okay, that's why check and balance. And all the three officers were directly recruited and directly dismissed by the emperor. Keep it in mind. This is important. Badsha. Yes. It means that entire administration is based on the great ruler. Whenever the Delhi Mughal ruler was very strong, he controlled all the province and all the provincial officers. But when the Mughal ruler was very weak, Delhi ruler was very weak, that Subedar and Nizam was waiting. Okay, ruler was very weak. We will detach the territory from him. We will declare and we will start as a separate kingdom. So keep it in mind. As long as Aurangzeb was there, strong ruler, he controlled all the provincial governor. But after the death of Aurangzeb, right, weak ruler. So what happened? It may be Subedar or Nizam or Diwan or Nawab. Listen, they took opportunity and ruptured the relationship with the Mughals and declared the province as the kingdom. Such a kingdoms are called regional kingdom. This is what the origin of regional kingdom after the death of Aurangzeb due to the weak successor. Who are the weak successor? All the 9 rulers are weak successor. So if you want to know this unit, you should have studied the later Mughal rulers. Understood? Yes, that's why I am saying, if you missed today's class, next 3 days class you don't know. If you missed previous class, next 2 days class you don't know. Once attend history, all the session, easiest topic is the history because no added flavor, nothing is added. If you go to Ibeco and some Robin, Baskin, Robin, toppings, no toppings flavor, nothing is there. It's a pure static subject. Initial period alone, it seems to be tough, but it's a very easy. Understood? So only thing, attend. That's enough. So with this, the rise of regional kingdom. In some places, listen, Subedar established the kingdom. In some places, Nawab established the kingdom. That's why such a king rulers are called Nawab, Nawab of Bengal. If you come to Hyderabad, who established the kingdom is Nizam. Hyderabad established the kingdom. That's why Nizam, Hyderabad rulers are called Nizams. So if you know, this is very easy. Without knowing, some student would mug it up. Nizam of Hyderabad, that is at Nawab of Bengal. They would make it up without knowing the reasons. Understood? So this is what the basic aspect. So if it is so, how many kingdoms, regional kingdoms? Bengal kingdom, Awadh kingdom, Hyderabad. Simple. All were, this is Bengal, here is Awadh, here is Hyderabad. All were once upon a time under Mughal Samraj. All were once upon a time under Mughal province. So keep these kinds of view. Then you come and study each kingdom. Damn easy. I think I reached out to you. I think so. With this, I start the first kingdom. Open the first kingdom is Bengal. Bengal kingdom. This part. So carefully look into this kingdom. I never use the word West Bengal. Okay, rather than I use the word Bengal. Bangla. So listen, what is Bengal kingdom? What is the territorial extent of the Bengal kingdom? Is near the kingdom, you write present day West Bengal. Note it down. West Bengal, Bangladesh. In the map itself you could see Bangladesh was also part and parcel of West Bengal region. So West Bengal, Bangladesh, part of Orissa. In the map itself you see part of Orissa, part of Bihar, part of Bihar. So this much is called the Bengal kingdom. Very big. West Bengal is very small. Bengal kingdom was very big. Okay. So easy. It was part and parcel of the Mughal Samraj province. Here one of the officer was waiting. Okay. The Mughal Delhi ruler was very weak. It is a right time to rupture relationship to declare. Then which Mughal officer established this kingdom? Which year? You write it. This kingdom was founded by a Mughal officer, Murshid Quli Khan in 1717. Murshid Quli Khan in 1717. And he ruled up to 1727. No need of this rulers, regional rulers here. Just by heart the founder alone. Actually, he served as a Nawab. That's why Bengal rulers are commonly called Bengal Nawab, Bengal rulers. Nawab. Okay. So who was the founder? Murshid Quli Khan. He was a Nawab. He earlier served under the Mughal ruler. Now you have to do. Who was the Mughal ruler by the time? Type it. Who was the Mughal ruler by the time? Type it. Exactly right. Some mentioned at the Farooq Sayar. Exactly. So you see that during the Farooq Sayar period, there was a problem between Syed brother and Farooq Sayar. Farooq Sayar used such an opportunity. Murshid Quli Khan used such an opportunity, and in Delhi itself there was a problem. So he snatched Bengal from Delhi. That is, he snatched Bengal from Delhi. That led to the establishment of this kingdom. So likewise, if you know later Mughal and coming of European, remaining topics are very, very easy. In that way, he founded this kingdom. Okay. Yes, listen. He was followed by so many rulers. No need to study all the regional rulers. Even in optional itself, I am not at all discussing of this. That's useless for you. Only one point alone you have to. He made Murshidabad as his capital. In that map itself, you could see here. He made Murshidabad as his capital. Even it might have been named after him. Murshid Quli Khan Murshidabad. I think so. So Murshidabad in northern part of west, even Murshidabad separate district is there. Okay, this is the only. So hereafter keep it in mind. This is the Bengal kingdom. That what is the capital of the Bengal kingdom? Where the Bengal ruler occupied is Murshidabad. This is very important. Yes, first ruler we discussed. After that, so many rulers were there. We don't want one of the successor, not the next successor. You put a dot and write it. One of the successor is Siraj. Siraj ud Dawla. 1756-57. So not the next ruler. He was a fifth ruler or sixth ruler. Don't want any of the rulers. In between Alivardi Khan, so and so would come. No need. Siraj ud Dawla. Yes, only one important thing took place. What's the thing is Battle of Plassey. Under Siraj, you write it here. Battle of Plassey. (1757). Taken? Yes. So under Battle of Plassey, you split into two. One side is company, other side is Siraj army. One side is the company, other side is the Siraj army. Who commanded the company is Robert Clive. Robert Clive. Robert Clive commanded the company. Yes, here who got victory? Company got victory. Just put tick. This is the known information to all the students. All the students should know of this. This is the ABCD of modern India. If you don't know Plassey, who participated, who got success, you never studied modern India. Keep it in mind in that sense. Yes, now what we are going to discuss is why such a Battle of Plassey? I discussed what happened in the Battle of Plassey. Who got success? But why such a bad Laplace? And what were the consequences of the bad Laplace? So write it why. Always in history, you have to ask the question why, where, when, how. You will find all the answer. You answered to all the questions, right? Why? So now bad Laplace took place 1747, mean 1 or 2 years before some event happened. That were the reasons for the why. Yes. So what you have to write it? You have to write like a flow chart. Flow chart, I think so. You have to write, then put like this. Next, then you have to put like this. Next, then you have to put like this. This is the flow chart concept. Actually, sometimes you can write answer in flow chart wise. Sometimes map, sometimes graph. So in my class notes itself, I am discussing what are all the various method of answer writing practice. Nearly 10 to 15 different method would be given in my class notes itself. Understood? Yes. So with this, you come back. So you have to write under Y, you have to write like a flow chart. Shall I start? Yes. Listen. In the first class itself, we already studied Calcutta, the British settlement. Chandranagar, whose settlement? Type it. Whose settlement is Chandranagar? French. Exactly. Chandranagar, the settlement of the French. Exactly, you are right. Right? So here, listen. Here, the company, English India Company. Here, the French East India Company. Both had it. So keep it in mind. Here is Siraj, Murshidabad headquarters. He was controlling the entire area. This information you should know. All the company came to India just for trade, not for political and nothing. Okay? But who started to dance is English East India Company. Started to dance. What they consider is this Siraj man was weak person. They consider. So what the company did, English East India Company did it, they constructed a fortification. So what is fortification mean? There is a big compound wall. Not fort, fortification, fortified. And over the compound wall, that is armed people. If the Prime Minister or Chief Minister is coming, mean all the raised platform would be occupied by that SPG, NSG group, and through binocular they would see who are all the movers. Likewise, just imagine in the movie or real by whenever Modi ji is supposed to visit here, whatever the place, all the upper part of the building would be occupied by the groups. Understood? So likewise, fortification. So who first did the fortification is company in Calcutta. Immediately, who also followed this is French also followed it in Chandranagar. That is the first point you write it. Both the British and the French fortified their settlement. Both the French and British and the French fortified their settlement. Fortified their settlement in Calcutta and Chandranagar respectively. Yes. So themselves, if it means that themselves fortified and themselves took power. This is absolutely wrong actually. Right? This is absolutely wrong because who was controlling everything is Siraj. Purpose of this company is just to trade, but themselves took the weapon, law and order into their hands. Immediate, listen, this information reached Siraj. Siraj headquarters is Murshidabad. What Siraj did it? He wrote letters. So put downward arrow and write it. Siraj wrote letter to British and French. Wrote letters to British and French to demolish the fortification. to demolish the fortification. Taken? Yes. Downward arrow. The French did so. Did so mean they demolished it. The French sent gentlemen, once they received the letter, they demolished the fortification at Chandranagar. But British refused. But the British refused. So that's the reason. British challenged it. Oh, Siraj, we will look after you. That's why what happened is British challenged it. So listen, Siraj got tension. Siraj got tension. Listen, what he did it. From Murshidabad, he sent a strong force. Listen, he sent a strong force to Calcutta. He attacked Calcutta, captured some British people, killed some British people, and many British people left. And whoever captured, all were kept in a small room. Nearly 250 British were kept in a small room. Next day, when the doors were opened, almost all died because of suffocation. Such an incident in history is called a black hole episode. So next put downward and write it. Siraj sent army to Calcutta. Downward arrow and write. Siraj sent army to Calcutta. Captured British and led to black hole episode. Black hole episode 1756. So black hole episode means many British people died. Actually, this was not the intention of Siraj. Siraj's intention is not to kill them deliberately. Got it? So this is what the Siraj did it. Now the British got a full tension. That's why listen. Now British decided to fight. Listen, by this time, here is Calcutta. Listen, by this time British became so strong in Madras region. Don't try. So what happened is, from Madras, a huge force came under the leadership of Robert Clive. Here that you see that red color. Here you see that Robert Clive from Orissa. Orissa means actually from, he came from Madras. So next downward arrow, you write it. Yeah, army was arrived from Madras under the leadership of Clive. Under the leadership of Clive. Yes. Thereafter, just listen. First, what Clive did it, listen. He captured Calcutta. Don't write. He captured Calcutta. Now he was ready to fight against Siraj because Siraj capital was here. Keep it in mind. Now, Robert Clive started to move towards like this. Siraj also sent the force and both the party met at a place called Plassey. That's why the battle is called Battle of Plassey. That's all. These things don't write. So here you have written flowchart. This itself can you can write it. Sometimes if you don't have time to write more points, but you know the points, you can just give it like a flowchart, introduction, conclusion, over. That's a 10-mark question. You will be given 5 mark. Understood? So Plassey is a place. Yes, this is what the things. And the last point of the flowchart is before the battle itself. Write it. Before the battle itself. So before the battle, Robert Clive bribed, not corrupted, bribed some important officers of Siraj administration. In the Siraj administration, some important officers were there. They were bribed, heavily bribed by Robert Clive. So who are the important officers? Altogether 4 members were there. Right. For GS people, you don't want 4 members. Only 1 member is enough. You write it Mir Jafar. So actually 4 members. 1 alone is enough. In that the 1 is the Mir Jafar. Who was the Mir Jafar is? Army head of Bengal. Just imagine. Note it down. Army head. Yes, so who was Mir Jafar is the army head. Just imagine, Siraj-ud-Dawla ruler, who was army head was Mir Jafar. He only should have led the force, but himself was bribed, heavily bribed by, he got bribed from the British, means definitely who would get victory? British would get victory. This is what actually happened in the Battle of Plassey. Understood? That's why the historian used to say, Battle of Plassey is not at all a great battle. It is a betrayal, actually. Who betrayed this? It's a pure betrayal. So these are all the why of this. Understood? With that only battle happened. Company got victory. Okay. After the victory, what are all the consequences? Next, open the subtopic. Consequences of the battle. Consequences or significance of the battle. Shall you know? Yes. First point is starting of rise of British. Actually, this is the first thing of rise of British in India. So after this battle only British started to rise. That's why historian used to say, if no Battle of Plassey, otherwise in the Battle of Plassey, if British was defeated, it was impossible for the rise of the British Raj in India. That much of importance is Battle of Plassey. Got it? So rise of British starting point is this. Second point is drain of wealth was started. This is very, very important. From India, drain of wealth. Wealth was started. So drain of wealth was started in 1757 and continued till 1947. You have to write like this. Wealth, everything started to flow from India to London. Even today, Birmingham Palace, Buckingham Palace is very glowing, is due to our wealth, especially the Bengal wealth. So that was started after this. Second point. Third point is, listen, I said bribe was given to Mir Jafar. Bribe means not necessarily to be money. Even the promise, it's also a bribe. What kind of bribe was given is this kinds of bribe. Listen, what was given to Mir Jafar is, Mir Jafar, how long you would be the commander of the Siraj to work under the Siraj? You help us. We would get victory. After that, we will kill Siraj. Then you will be the next ruler. Immediately, Mir Jafar went to dream and started to help. That's why after this battle, Siraj was killed. And who was the next ruler? Mir Jafar. Third consequence, you write it. Mir Jafar become the next ruler. Become the next ruler. So next ruler is Mir Jafar. Mir Jafar just ruled 3 years, 1757 to 1760. 1757 to 1760. Understood? So Murshid Quli Khan. After that, blah blah blah. Important ruler is Mir Jafar. After that, who is the immediate is the Siraj-ud-Dawla. After that, Mir Jafar. So these are all the consequences. Now we have to discuss Mir Jafar. Actually, Bengal kingdom, regional kingdom, in that I am discussing so many other information. I am clubbing it. It is a method of study. Got it? Yes. So in this now, listen. Initially, again I'm saying good rapport between the British and Mir Jafar. But 1757, 58, 59 gap, this much of gap. 1760, what happened is British consider, no, this Mir Jafar was not a apt person. He should be expelled. Accordingly, 3 years later, Mir Jafar was replaced by his son-in-law Mir Qasim. The next ruler was Mir Qasim, 1760, 1764. Who was Mir Qasim? His son-in-law. Understood? So this is what Mir Qasim used to say. He was paid back by his own coin. Initially he betrayed Siraj, now himself was betrayed. Even today I heard of this, I don't know, only the person from West Bengal alone, Bengali people alone should. So Mir Jafar was considered as a betrayal. Even the Mir Jafar house is there. Many tourist people, whenever supposed to visit Mir Jafar, they are simply spitting in front of his house. I heard such a news. Whether I don't know whether is right one or wrong. West Bengal from Supriyo, is it right? Or any other fellow from West Bengal nearby the house of Mir Jafar? Is it true? Type it. Yes, sir. True, actually. Yes. So they are spitting. But I would say Mir Jafar alone is not the betrayal. Whoever support the British Raj, all are betrayal. All the ICS officer, all are betrayal. Because they only responsible for maintaining the British Raj. Am I right? Whoever supported. Now you say that whether British ruled India. Yes, British ruled India. 10,000 British people ruled India with 10 lakh Indian people. Yes or no? Many princely states supported British. Many Indian entered into British army as a soldier. Many cleared the ICS exam and worked for the British. That's why, do you know, Subhash Chandra Bose, even though he cleared ICS, but he resigned. Why? If I become the ICS, I forced to work under the British. As ICS officer, I am responsible for maintaining the British Raj. In that sense, he resigned in 1920. The coveted post, later he resigned. So I hear, 2 years before I heard that, it's very surprising. Even in Tamil Nadu, if you come, one person is called Ettappa. Ettappa alone is not Ettappa. Whoever supported the British, all are called Ettappas. Am I right? So here, this is what you should know of this. Next is the Mir Qasim. But Mir Qasim is very important. Mir Qasim was not a normal person. He was awkward, good administrator. This Mir Qasim. What Mir Qasim did, listen, Mir Qasim also came to power with the help of British. But once he came to power, he said, British, what do you want? Once for all, we will settle. I will settle you. After that, you should not. British said, I want revenue. Okay, I will give 3 districts. You enjoy the 3 districts. Thereafter, you should not disturb. That's why, first point you write it. He gave 3 districts to the British. Here, British means company. Write it. He gave 3 districts to the company. What are all the 3 districts? 1. Burdwan, Midnapur, and Chittagong. These 3 districts were given. Given to the British. So then he said, no, hereafter please don't disturb me. Right? This is the first measure. What is the second measure is, listen. Initially British influenced here. After Battle of Plassey, British started to influence Murshidabad. Because Mir Jafar was here. They started to influence. Now Mir Qasim. So what Mir Qasim consider? No. Hereafter I should not rule from Murshidabad. That's why what Mir Qasim did, he shifted the capital. Next point you write. He shifted the capital far away from British influence. Which place is Munger? He shifted the capital to Munger. Taken Munger in Bihar. So hereafter this is the capital. Got it? Yes. So this is what suspicion. What is the suspicion here is British started to, why this bloody Mir Qasim decided to shift? It means that he wanted to go far away from us. Far away from us means He didn't want our influence. So gradually suspicion created between British and the Mir Qasim. At one stretch, the suspicion led to the war. What was the reason? Is third point. You write it. He abolished. He means Mir Qasim. He abolished Dastak, which was given to company earlier. He abolished Dastak, which was given to company earlier. Taken. What is Dastak? The royal farman through which internal trade we already discussed under Farooq Siyar. The same thing. Here he abolished it. Actually, whenever he abolished the Dastak mean, that was a huge revenue loss. There was a huge revenue loss to the company. That's why company decided, okay, Mir Qasim hereafter our opponent. So that led to the fight between the Mir Qasim and the company. Listen, hereafter, very, very careful. Listen. If you understood these things, one linking is easy. Listen, from here, Calcutta, British sent force to Munger is here. Okay? Listen, Munger is here, Munger is here. Not here, Munger is here. Right, what Mir Qasim did, again I draw it for Munger is here. What Mir Qasim did it, Mir Qasim escaped to Awadh. Carefully listen. So now Bengal ruler is Mir Qasim in Awadh. We already discussed that due to the Afghan invasion, one Mughal ruler always in Awadh. Who was the ruler is Mughal ruler is Shah Alam II. Carefully listen. And the third is Awadh had its own ruler. So Awadh ruler. Who was Awadh ruler is Suja. Don't confuse with Siraj. Okay. Suja ud Dawla. Carefully listen. These three rulers joined together, started to fight against the company. The battle is called Buxar. Again write it. Battle of Buxar 1764. Write it. So Battle of Buxar 1764, one side company. Now three side, the other side, these three rulers. Now you note it down, all the three rulers. Taken. So all should note it down. Battle of Buxar. First here you write it. Again you go back and copy in the previous page because you have left some space. So this is the method of studying Buxar. Buxar we will discuss thrice. One is I already discussed from the Mughal ruler. Another is from here, the Bengal side. So here company. Here most important question. Who commanded company's force? This is very, very important. Yes, who commanded is a commander. His name is Hector Munro. Write it. Force is Hector Munro. So in if you go to exam, in that option would be given. Robert Clive would be the first choice. If tempt you to answer Robert Clive, wrong. Hector Munro, because Robert Clive by the time was not at all in India. Yes, and the company got victory. Put tick. Understood? This is what? Very important. This is called the Battle of Buxar. So now all the three rulers were defeated. Bengal ruler was defeated, Awadh ruler was defeated, and the Mughal ruler, that is Delhi ruler, was defeated. Now again I come back. Whether Delhi was annexed after Buxar? No, we already discussed it. Okay. Whether Awadh was discussed, we will discuss later. Whether Bengal was discussed? Yes. So that is the next point. You write it. After this battle in 1765, Bengal was annexed by British. Bengal was annexed by British after the Treaty of Allahabad. So there was a treaty at a place called Allahabad. After the Treaty of Allahabad, Bengal was annexed by the British. And the Bengal governor Robert Clive, now Robert Clive came back. Okay, and the Bengal governor Robert Clive introduced dual government system. You write like this. Instead of direct administration, he introduced dual government system. Dual government system is indirect administration. Introduced dual government system, that is indirect administration. So what is dual government system? What is the impact of dual government system? I have to discuss this. If time is there, I will discuss one important polity act. Okay. Modern India polity, if you don't know modern India, can't touch polity, that to Lakshmikant first 3 units. That's why we start with modern India. If you completed modern India, prelims history portion wise 50% over. History portion for prelims as well as for mains. That's why don't make it as a serious one, right? So thoroughly study that. COVID period, you can study modern India. I will complete it. At least twice you study. After that, damn easy. Okay. So then when normal classes are there, you can easily attend the optional. You can easily attend the CSAT. You will feel very, very light. Otherwise, if you missed it this period, for other people only it's a last. For education purpose, it's a most important thing, especially for UPSC aspirant. It's a great time to study and attend the class. Okay. So this is what here. So is there dual government system. What is dual government system, sir? I will give simplified diagram, simplified explanation. So what is dual government system? We will discuss. Dual government system. Yes, likewise. Here the company. Here the people of Bengal. So Bengal people. Yes. Listen. Company held all the authority to rule directly. They can straight away can collect the tax. They can straight away maintain law and order. They can straight away do administrative measures, welfare measure, all such a measures. But what the company did, they didn't. Listen, what they did is, listen, for revenue collection, right? Company directly administered. Actually, this line is accidental. Okay, this is revenue collection. This is called Diwani right, because Diwan means revenue head, Diwani means revenue collection, Diwani right. So dotted bold line is revenue collection. For revenue collection, company straight away got tax from the people. But for law and order means military. Listen, but for law and order purpose, what it did, it appointed Indians. Indian. The dotted is law and order. Okay, law and order. This is called Nizamat function. Nizam means military. Law and order function. Such a function is called Nizamat. So write it. Sir, draw this. For revenue collection, directly collected it. For law and order, Nizamat function, they appointed Indian. Here is the Indian. Through Indian, they controlled the people. This is very simplified. If you go into the book, they have given, it's like that, right? So simplified it. It means that whether Bengal people are governed by single administrator or two, means two administrator. One is company, another is that Indian, right? That's why two administered, governed Bengal. That's why the system is called dual government. That's why it's called dual government. So here diagram would be there, should be there. Then if you want the explanation part, just note it down. Got it? Yes. So this is what the dual government system. So here you see that revenue collection mean company wanted money, but it don't want law and order. It means that company had power, right? It, but no responsibility. Power means here entire thing revenue was there, but what happened? Responsibility were given to Indian. They appointed some Indian. Through that they controlled it. Why? What is the reason Robert Clay introduced it? Initially, company was trading company. It had no intention to rule India. Am I right? It had not at all an intention to rule India. That's why company considered, why should we rule India directly? Our intention is money. Let us squander on the India's money and we will leave. Why should we rule this bloody people? That's why he introduced. So this system is called as, right, this dual government system. So this dual government system was introduced by Robert Clive in 1765 after the Treaty of Allahabad. Okay, now we have to come to that positive and negative of this dual government system. Write it. Impact of this system. Taken impact. Yes, it's a good or bad? Ugly, sir. Neither good nor bad. It's ugly actually. Why? Is power in one hand, responsibility in other hand. Is it good? No. That too law and order was given to other. Actually, do you know? If no law and order, if no good law and order, everything would be spoiled actually. Even you can see that. Keep it in mind, as an administrator, you are the collector, later become you are the SP and other people. So you should always keep it in mind, right? If commercial and trade should be improved, na, zero tolerance towards law and order. Understood? Keep it in mind. Why? I opened a showroom, just imagine. No law and order means what would happen? Some would stone belting over my glasses. Some would easily stolen my commodities. Otherwise, if I take commodity from one place to another place in highway robbers. Then whether I would set up my trading in your state? No. I would never do it. Understood? I would never do it. That's why in many states, backwardness because of this law and order disturbance, especially if you see extreme left-wing area, Jharkhand, West Bengal. In this area, if you go to that, because of the issue of law and order, many business people are not at all coming there. Because of what would happen? The Maoists or Naxals would simply blast such industry or cell phone tower. Right? These kinds of problems are there. So that's why here, due to the dual government system, right, failure of law and order. First point you write. First is failure of law and order. Okay. Second, due to the failure of law and order, what happened is no trade and commerce, no agriculture activity. Second impact. No agriculture, no trade and commerce. Second. Third, due to loss of trade and commerce, agriculture activity, no revenue. No revenue. If no revenue means who is the great losser is the company. You're right. So no revenue to the company. Actually, it was a setback. Robert Clive introduced a system for good reason. Why should we rule directly? But it created ugly effect to the company itself. Because if law and order problem means nothing happened. If nothing happened means no revenue. So because of no revenue, last point you write by 1717. Even you could write it like a flow chart. Again, one after another. Because of no law and order, by 1770s, company became bankrupt. This is a very, very important topic I am discussing today. Company became bankrupt. Okay, so have you come across the word Diwal? Company became Diwal. It's the biggest issue. Okay, listen. Problem is not to the company servant. Problem is to the company's highest authority, court of director in London. So my camera is shifting towards London, to London. So you just 24 members, company. We discussed in the first class itself. Yes, every year dividend should be given to the shareholders. We already discussed because it's a shareholders company. Every year dividend should be given. But what happened in 1770s? Company became bankrupt. So what happened is there was no money to give dividend to the shareholder. Next point you write. So you have written company became bankrupt. So you write it no money to give dividend to the shareholders. In London, this information in London. Understood? Yes. So this is the biggest issue. COD didn't have money to give dividend. So in London, what happened is COD asked some people, please give 5 lakh pound. Please, you give 2 lakh pound because pound is a monetary unit. But many people didn't give. So what the English East India Company did, it carefully listened. It asked the money from the government. Please, government, to bail out my economic crisis, please give 2 lakh or 5 lakh pound. So last point, you write it. Company asked money from the government. That's a British government. Yes. Now what the British government did, okay, this is the right time to interfere into the company's affairs. What the British government did, listen, company, I am ready to give amount. But at the same time, I will regulate your activities in India. That led to the enactment of the act called Regulating Act. That is the last point under impact of Del government, you write it. So British government not only gave money but also regulated companies' affairs. These are all just a hint point, right? Regulated companies' affairs in the name of the act. That's the first act called Regulating Act. 1773. This is the method of studying anything. So actually polity regulating it, but it should be clubbed and studied along with the history. So why regulating act? Because of dual government system. No, because of Diwal of the company. Why Diwal of the company? Because of dual government system. Who introduced dual government system? Robert Clive. After what? Battle of Buxar. Why Battle of Buxar? Mir Qasim. Why Mir Qasim? Mir Jafar. Why Mir Jafar? Siraj. Why Siraj? Murshid Quli Khan. Why Murshid Quli Khan? Bengal Kingdom. Why Bengal Kingdom? Mughal Samraj. Reverse gear. Actually, if you study once, forward motion and reverse motion of the history should be known. Then only you study the history very well. So with this, today I finish the topic. I have to discuss in the next class what are all the important points of the Regulating Act, and subsequent we will discuss in the next session. Now, doubt, clarification. In doubts, you may ask. Name. Lalit. Halid. Lalit, please. You may talk.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, please.
Sir, my doubt is regarding the later Mughal, sir.
Okay.
Sir, you said that he abolished jazzy system, sir.
Jizya, yes.
Hello, sir. But he also introduced a system called Izara, sir. Never explained it, sir.
Okay.
In spectrum, I came across it, sir.
Yes, actually, Ijara is Paka, it's a medieval. What is the Ijara system? He introduced Ijara. What is Ijara is revenue farming. Note it down. If you all note it down, Ijara is revenue farming system. What is revenue farming is bidding. So revenue farming may be a little bit confused. If I, instead of using the word, if I use the word bidding is very easy. I think you know bidding,
Okay,
bidding,
sir.
auctioning.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's called.
Sir, another doubt also, sir.
Yes.
Sir, Nader Shah is a Persian empire, sir. Does Abdullah is a successor of him, sir? Abdal is a successor of him, sir.
Yes, actually what happened is, listen, Nadir Shah, the Persian Empire, but Abdali, Afghan ruler. That's why I said Abdali was not the Persian ruler. That's a much difference between Nadir Shah and Abdali. What happened is, listen, Nadir Shah was from here. He had a very big empire. After the death of Nadir Shah, his empire was disintegrated. In this part, Afghanistan, one person started to rise. His name is Abdali. From here, he attacked. That's why Nadir Shah, Persian ruler, Abdali, Afghan ruler.
Yes, sir. He had a ruler in Mughal, sir. He had I don't know clearly.
Hello?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
No.
Hello.
Yes. Again,
Sir, there is also hello, sir.
network issues there from your side.
Sir, could you hear me, sir? No, sir.
Yes.
Sir, there is a marathon invention between the Alamgir period, sir.
We will discuss.
You
From Maratha
haven't
side,
explained it, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, yes. Because here we are discussing few events separately, right? At end of third or another 2 to 3 class, you will have a picturization.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Pavitran.
Hello.
Yes, Pavitran.
Ji, I have a couple of questions. When you tell us about this later Mughals and how they were weak and what happened in Bengal, how Milka Singh came and after that other person came, actually, what is the source of all this information? How come we know about all these things?
Yes, actually, what's the source of information of modern is we have plenty of written information from Indian side as well as from the British side. The British governors, the British historian, British civil servants, as well as from Indian side also we had plenty. Because by 1600 and by 1100, 1200 onwards, we started to write everything from both the side, from outsiders as well as insiders. But we would not take as such. What we would do, we would corroborate more sources, and whatever commonly accepted, such a sources would be written. So in modern India, what is the source is literary source of both insider as well as outsider.
In ancient India and medieval India, we will sometimes get questions and examination regarding the sources.
Yes.
But in modern India, it won't be asked like that, right?
Modern India, they would never ask any sources.
Okay, sir. Okay. I have another question. When these companies like French and English East India Company and all came as traders, the king gave them permission to settle factories and all. But how come they could have such a big army with them so that they can defeat these people? How come they have this big army?
Yes. That's important. Listen, it's very important. It's a private army, but how it had a big army is, keep it in mind. Army was, in the case of English East India Company, it's a private company. Army was not the government. It's a complete private recruited army. Keep it in mind. It's complete private recruited army. Who were recruited? The Indians were recruited. And when the company was established, in course of time, the crown had power to the English East India Company to recruit. Keep it in mind. To recruit army, to manufacture weapons, to went for war, to annex territory. All such powers were given to the company, English East India Company.
Okay, so they were private players, but how
Yes.
come our kings left them with this army? Like you can have an army.
How come our kingdom?
How come our kings in that time, let's say Bengal, Nawabs and all, let them to have an army?
Yes, because all were the independent kings. Once upon a time, under the Mughal had many provinces. Each provinces had a considerable number of army. Later, such a provinces became a separate kingdom. Means definitely I will have. For example, you consider India. In India, army is one and the same. State didn't have army, does not have army, right?
Yeah.
But you consider Tamil Nadu, otherwise you consider Gujarat. Now Gujarat became a separate country. Whether Gujarat would recruit a new army or not?
Yeah. Gee, I'm not asking about how come Bengal had an army. I'm asking how come Bengal Nawab let the English East India Company have an army within their territory.
Come again, how come Bengal Nawab?
How come Bengal Nawab let the English East India Company have an army within their territory?
Yes. Actually, listen, the company's initial intention is to have trade. To protect their trade, all the Indian ruler, not only India, wherever the company, English India Company was there, the local ruler allowed to have company's army in their territory, not for law and order purpose, just to maintain their trade. Even today, if you go to Infosys premises, inside the Infosys premises, if you are entering, at the entrance itself, securities are there. Such a securities are local police or Infosys recruited security, means Infosys recruited. What is their duty? Is law and order or within the premises, they have to look into that. That too only for commercial purpose, likewise.
Okay, fine. One last question, G. Yeah. You said about after this system of dual governance, the English East India Company went bankrupt. When they still had Madras provinces and other some provinces in India, how can, because of this one province, they can go bankrupt?
By 1760s, if you see, entire Madras area was not captured. At the time only, they are trying to rise in Madras. The earliest territory, that too the biggest territory they captured in India was Bengal. They 90% relied on the source of Bengal. Whenever bankrupt in Bengal, it affected the company's bankrupt throughout India. Not only that, at the time of the world, throughout the world, it heavily depend on the resources from Bengal. That's the reason. But later course, they gradually started to conquer entire Madras, Mysore. That is later part. Even later, if Bengal become bankrupt, they would manage the resources from some other provinces, even some other from some other country.
Okay. Fine. Okay. How come? What was the French doing when the English East India Company were taking on the Nawab of Bengal?
At the time, French position was started to decline because entirely different. By that time, simultaneously, these wars were there. French support was very less, and that to French, we said it's a government company. French didn't dedicate that interest towards India as like that of the British. That's a French contribution towards this Plassey and Buxar was negligence.
Okay, they were unaware of the situation that the British would get the political rights. They were just considering it as a battle and just left it out.
Actually, French knew it, but they couldn't much support the local rulers because of the inherent defect of the French company itself, because they themselves couldn't get help from the French government.
Okay. Okay, that's it, G. Thank you.
Next. Haripriya.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So I have three doubts, three questions. Hello.
Please. Yes, one by one.
The first question, sir. When Aurangzeb was ruling India, the Mughal Empire was the entirety of India. But when the map was shown, some parts of Kerala and Tamil Nadu we had green colors. So who were ruling in that period?
Actually, by the time in Kerala, not one ruler, so many. For example, in Kerala, one ruler, Zamarin. Part of Kerala was ruled by Zamarin.
Like
Part of Kerala was
Margan,
Travancore state. Part of Kerala was ruled by Raja of Kottarakara. Have you come across this? So likewise, Kerala itself was not ruled by single. So many places demarcated and ruled it. In the case of Tamil Nadu witnessed the dilapidated because the Nayakars, have you come across the word? 1700, 1800, Nayakars ruled it and Arcad Nawab ruled it. That's why both Kerala and Tamil Nadu, though were not under the control of Aurangzeb, but they were not entirely under the control of single ruler. Both Tamil Nadu and Kerala was ruled by so many small rulers.
So the Mughal Empire could not set foot in Kerala and Tamil Nadu.
Yes, they didn't touch
Okay.
Kerala and Tamil Nadu.
Okay. Thank you. So second question is, the Battle of Buxar was fought at Buxar, sir, which was in Awadh.
Buxar actually, it's not in Awadh. If you see here, it's outskirts of Awadh and the Bengal. In this map itself, you could see.
Okay. So after Battle of Buxar, the British were able to annex only Bengal or Awadh too.
Whether Awadh was annexed or not, we will discuss in the next class. I said Delhi was annexed. I said Bengal was annexed. Whether Awadh was annexed or not, we will discuss next. Because while discussing Awadh kingdom, I have to mention that point.
Okay. Then third one is, what is the creative Allahabad, sir? Like, who were the signatories of creative?
The three people. These three, whoever were defeated.
Okay. And this is regarding preparation, sir. So now I got to know from the class that I think we can have one reading about one reading of Bipin Chandra, and then we can refer to your class notes. Is that okay, sir? Like for the entirety of our preparation?
First class notes, then NCRT.
First is your class notes and then NCRT.
That's why I said, if you study NCRT, it's given in a haphazard. Even in spectrum itself, they have given not in orderly manner. That's why repeatedly I'm saying, first class notes, then only NCRT or spectrum.
Okay. So, okay, sir. Thank you.
Sri Watson.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I have a couple of questions, sir.
Okay.
Appointed. That means does not have a, so that played an important role for selecting Jalandhar Shah. Could that be inferred like that, sir? Or
come again?
No, sir. After Bahadur Shah,
Mm.
not a elected one, not a hierarchy one.
Your voice is
Has no hair.
breaking actually. Initially it's good, but later it's breaking.
Sir, now can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Sir, after Bahadur Shah, sir, Jalandhar Shah was that means selected by Zulfikar Khan. So that means that Bahadur Shah has no hair. So can we infer like that? So that led to the selection of Jalandhar Shah. Could we infer like that, sir?
Yes, absolutely. That's right.
Okay, sir. And another question is, when Farrukhsiyar gave the royal firman to East India Company that there is no illegal duty, that means he has lost control of the company because controlling the finance is one of the major in fact parameter for a king. And to keep a company from getting out of control, we just put the tax. So if we give royal firman, the company gets out of control, right, sir?
Couldn't get it. It's coming and later it's completely denuded. Then it's not. I'm not hearing your voice. Actually, better you.
So now, sir.
Yes.
So now can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Sir, East India companies, the royal firman gave by Faruksia, sir. In that I have a doubt. Because la- he is levying a tax on the company so as to get over control over the company. So if he is pulling that back, that means he's losing control over the company, right, sir? Could we think like that, or
Yes, actually, what's the thing is he didn't ask only the internal duty. Actually, duty of two things. One is customs is there. Customs duty wise, the company should pay whenever the commodity is coming or going out of India. That wise, they must pay. In that wise, they had it. But when the company is trading within India and movement of goods within India or within the Mughal territory, that duty alone was exempted. But no doubt at all, what you said is right. That was a huge revenue loss. But what happened is, companies trade at the time, volume was very less. That might have been the reason. By 1700, volume was very less.
yes, sir. And the final doubt is when the battle of when the,
Keep the mic
against
nearer.
Nadir,
Otherwise, you
yes, sir.
continue. Yes.
Sir, against when sir in Battle of Karnal, sir, Battle of
Yeah.
Karnal, when Nadir Shah was fighting, why didn't the East India Company join the fight, sir? Because if Nadir Shah conquers Mughal territory means, then the East India Company would also be losing the rights and power it had over the Indian kingdom, right, sir? So why did they join the?
I don't know why your voice is occasionally breaking. It's initially it's coming good, but in course of time it's going down and again it's rising. But your voice signal is good.
Sir, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you, but what happened is I'm hearing only this thing. Can you hear me? That's alone I'm getting it. After that, your voice, whenever you're supposed to continue, is it's coming down. Actually, your network is good. Somewhere problem in your headset or your thing. That's why your voice is good. Everything is good, but gradually it's going down.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Yes.
I will try to ask now.
Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
in the Battle of Karnal, sir, between Nadir Shah and the Mughal ruler, East India Company didn't join the fight. So, if Nadir Shah conquers means East India Company would lose all that they had built over the years, no, sir. So, why did East India Company join the fight, sir? I just want to get a clarity on that, sir.
At the time, yeah, company's intention is not to become a political power. Nadir Shah is 1739. At that time, company didn't have it. After Ahmad Shah Abdali, after this only, gradually, even after Plassey only, the company realized that we can become the political power. Even do you know, sir, in 1747, company's intention is to protect the trade again and again, not to become the political power. Political power aim was started after Plassey and Buxar.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Till that, they didn't have it. That's the reason. We never know these people would later occupy entire India. If they are ready to occupy the entire India, Jahangir would not give permission to set up factory. Akbar would not give permission. Aurangzeb would not give permission. If these people had an idea to capture entire India, for 100 years, 150 years, no company had intention of political occupation. Next.
Thank you.
Pranav.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah, yes, Pranav. Good afternoon.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sir, I have doubt about Farukshia. And you said that the Syed brothers both throned and dethroned him. And the Syed brothers sought the help of Marathas, right?
Yes. Yes, yes. Correct.
Why? And why Marathas was keen in it, sir?
Why Marathas?
Were keen in it. Because couldn't they have alone captured the Delhi?
No. If you enter into Marathas politics, that itself is different. Their policy is different. They would not influence entering into the have an
Delhi.
idea to enter into Mughal politics. Their political idea is entirely different, actually. That's
Okay,
why.
sir. Did they gain anything for helping the Zayed brothers?
Actually, political relationship would change overnight. Today, political relationship between two parties seems to be good. Tomorrow, it seems to be not good. At the time, good relationship between the Sayed and the Marathas.
Sir, and I have a common doubt. And what's the maximum mark will be awarded for the 15 mark questions?
For how many mark?
15 mark questions.
15 mark. That's
It
actually I'm
means
saying that's why I'm saying keep it in mind. There is no maximum mark is 15. You can even get 15 mark, but if you decent, what is the decent mark? That alone I can. Maximum mark, if you
yes,
ask
sir.
me, out of 15, you can get out of 15. Maximum, right? But very decent score is if you 9 to 10, you can get it. If you write it excellent, you can get up to 9.
Okay, sir, for 10 marks.
Extraordinary score is you consider 60% and above after mark is good.
Okay, sir.
Understood? If it's a 10 mark, na 6. If it is 15 marks, mean 9. It's a excellent score. So to question 60% and above marks is good.
So getting double digit is somewhat tough. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So you do one thing. Next time you are coming, please keep your mic very clear, right? So that you can ask so many doubts and your doubts will be very clear to me. I will answer, clarify what you intended. Okay. Thank you. Study and come to the. Okay. Next. Yamini. Sing. Yes, sing, please.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Can you hear me properly, sir?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Sir, my doubt is regarding that foreign invader who is the Nadir Shah, right, sir?
Yes.
So I want to know why did he become a foreign invader for that particular period? Just because he won the Battle of Karnal or some any other point, sir?
Actually, why such a foreign invasion is always the fight between Mughal and Persian. The number one enemy of the Mughal were the Persian. So either Mughal would invade into the Persian area, otherwise Persian would invade into the Mughal area. As long as Aurangzeb was there, it was difficult for the Persian to enter into present India. But after the death of Aurangzeb, weak ruler, so Persian easily attacked and they came up to the imperial capital Delhi. That's the reason. Apart from that, nothing. A reason for the particular invasion of Nadir Shah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And one more doubt, sir,
Yes.
about Rangila, like that Muhammad Shah. So why he called Rangila? Just because he had some colorful girls and pukas in his kingdom, or some other?
One and he also celebrated the Holi festival, colorful festival.
Okay.
Holi festival is for Hindu people, but he also
Yeah, right, sir.
9 days.
Okay, sir. And the last doubt is regarding preparation. So, actually, I want to know, sir, like whatever notes you have given to us. So,
Yes.
this is enough for reading, or should we have should we add some points through Google or some additional books?
Yes. So keep in mind first class notes, because class notes is an eye opener. First thing is the class notes.
Okay.
Whatever the topic and I have given, you by heart it as such. And whatever, for example, here I opened Awadh Kingdom. If in next class I will open, it means that you have to study Awadh Kingdom. Right. In syllabus I mentioned social religious reform movement. It means that you have to study social religious reform movement. But I openly say in classroom I can't give 100% everything. I will give maximum thing. If I opened a topic means in the book you have to search it and you have to thoroughly study such a topic. And if I didn't touch any topic in class note, you can skip it.
Okay, sir. So you mean to say means we have to add some if we want, or if we have some other points, so we can add in that notes, and we
Yes.
can make another notes from your notes, from books, and through internet, right, sir?
No, don't take internet. I'm not at all saying about internet. Why do you go
Oh,
to because for history we have plenty of one or two books. No, don't
right, sir.
internet. That's wrong actually. NCRT world spectrum for modern India is more than enough. History wise, we do
Okay,
have
okay, sir.
plenty of sources are there. Don't go to internet in the first instance.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, okay. So actually, I'm very beginner, so I am very confused about making notes and all. Thank you,
That
sir.
while taking the notes, you try to take the notes in that our class note itself. Don't put a separate notebook. In first class itself.
Okay, okay, sure. Yes, sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
So if you have like this things, wise it's very good. So you just to manage like this so that you can ask your questions very well. I could also listen. I could also engage for this this kind of situation. We are in classroom, whether in Chennai or Delhi. Myself would come. You can easily interact with me. So during this situation, just brush up your chat. Okay, Rakesh.
Sir, it is audible, sir.
Yes, very audible. And nearby people is.
Sir, I have 3 doubts, sir. I have 3 doubts, sir. The first one is, as you said, the noble group formed by the Syed group, Syed brothers. How come they formed such a noble group which was headed by Syed group, the Syed brothers? As you said, they are the kingmakers of early modern India.
It's by means of practice daily activities. Already they were the ministers. If you see that 100 ministers are there, all the 100 ministers would not have the same concept. One group would go behind one kind of ministers, another group would go behind another group of ministers. Likewise, how means by means of getting that other minister behind them. That's the only thing. And through their
Okay,
experience and influence in the royal court.
because as you said, the Syed brothers are the ministers of the Mughal Empire, sir.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, sir. The second doubt is, will you please explain about the Bahadur Shah II? I'm not clear in that ninth ruler of Mughal Empire, late Mughal Empire.
You'll send the video, right? Again, because I have discussed it. You see the video because I discussed it for 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes I discussed. You watch the video.
Okay.
It's a big
Okay, sir. Final doubt. Final doubt is, why the French East India Company is not as dominated as the British East India Company?
Yes, that's why I said first class itself, French East India Company, government, British East India Company, private. So they want to survive, but government means some delay would be there. And second doubt, also now I mentioned that French didn't have that much of concentration in India, but for British, India is very important. So that's why what happened is, even French also tried, but when compared to the French, British gave more concentration towards India. That's the reason.
The French company is the company from the government, and the British company is the private company. Right, sir?
First class itself, I have given that fight between the company when the establishment of the company.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Jay.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Jay.
Hello. Sir, my doubt is, you have said that Robert Clive formed the dual government in Bengal. With that, he gave the Nizamat right to Indians, but you have not mentioned who are they, sir.
No need of the names. Books they have.
Just need to know, just Indians. That's it, sir.
Yes, that's enough. That's are there in the book.
Okay,
but so many such names are there in the book. No need to study so much of names. Okay, skip it.
Okay, sir. I have another doubt, sir. In the Battle of Buxar, East India Company was fought under Victor Monroe. But Robert Clive was not there in that battle. But later he was the Governor General of Bengal. When did he go and when did he came back to India, sir?
That's 1764 he left, and 1765 he returned back. That's all. 1764 if he was not there means he left it. 1765 again he came back. That's all. Simple.
Okay, thank you.
Vignesh.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Vignesh.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir. My doubt regarding Battle of Karnal, sir. You said Muhammad Shah is defeated by Nadir Shah. So does it mean he was killed?
No.
Or how he died, sir? Actually, that's my question.
That's why I said he died naturally, and even if you see here in that Muhammad Shah battle took place in 1739, but Muhammad Shah ruled till 17. He was defeated. It does not mean that he was killed in the battlefield itself. Even after that only he also ruled, and he naturally died.
Okay, sir. And then you said Nadir Shah took the Kohinoor diamond along with him. So how it goes to British Empire, sir? Actually,
later we will. While discussing about Punjab, I will discuss. Okay, till that you wait.
Okay, sir.
It's a lengthy story.
And my another doubt is, okay, sir. My another doubt is, you said about a drain of wealth has happened after the Battle of Plassey. No, sir.
Yes.
So drain of wealth means, can I interrupt like that? The British fought many battles and they acquired many territory and they form a government. So from that, the drain of wealth started. Like that, I can interpret it like that.
Yes. As of now, this kinds of interpretation is enough. These kinds of concept we will discuss in the second part. The second part of the history we will discuss is what is drain of wealth, what constitute drain of wealth. Till that, you just wait it.
Oh, okay, sir.
Because
my another doubt is, I can't. Sir?
Yes.
Can you explain once again about how the company went bankrupt? Because some other person asked, though they had Madras, Bombay, why they went bankrupt? You explained, but at the time I lost my connection actually. Can you explain once again, sir?
You see in that video, because I discussed it for another 2 to 3 minutes. I discussed it because that's a lengthy topic. Because dual government system bankrupt is there, right? Better you watch the video because that's a connected cut, right? These kinds of concepts are core concept. In the video, carefully look into that. I explain it length and breadth.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So because
that is my question.
small things here I can rectify. If it's a core concept, it's better to watch the video. Then only you will get the entire fruit.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Raj.
Yeah. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hope I'm audible to you.
Yes.
I have this question only. Robert Clive was introduced this government system, right? What was the objective for the government system?
Along with that humming sound.
Was it? Can you hear me
Fan
now?
sound or some other sound is here.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I'm hearing, but
Still?
some other.
Can you hear me now again?
Yes.
Yeah. So you said Robert Clive introduced this dual government system. So I just want to know, what was he in that particular period? Was he the Governor General?
No, governor. That's why I said Bengal Governor Robert Clive. That book. You check it.
Hello.
1757 Bengal Governor Robert Clive. Is there?
No. And he introduced the dual government system.
Yes.
That was again okay.
At the time he was governor.
Okay, he was the governor. Okay. And Siraj ud Dowlah was just ruling for 2 years, is it? 1756 and 57, was it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you.
Giridharan?
Sir, sir, my question is on what is the geographical significance of Plassey and Buxar, sir? Why did the battle happen in those places?
It's a pure accidental, actually, I used to say.
Hello.
It's one. Another is in these two. Okay, places you
Sir,
are asking.
can you hear me, sir?
Yes, yes. Sorry, it's not pure accident. It's a deliberate. Plassey is a place where you could have the huge plain. Buxar is also, it's a huge plain, so that both army could deploy as much of soldiers as possible. So it's a good question. Whenever a battle is happening, means that place would be plain. Then only they could fight face to face. Otherwise, it's difficult to deploy. That's a geographical aspect of Plassey and Buxar. Super.
Okay. Sir, my another question is on why did the British government decide to take control over the East India Company and also establish a political rule in India?
When did they take political? 1857. That took place in 1858.
1858. Okay.
1858.
No, sir. I mean, okay, sir. I mean to say, like, uh, since the East India Company became bankrupt and the British government passed a regulating act, was there any more reasons for the British government to take control over the East India Act? I
Yes.
mean, East India Company.
Yes. As a company, every government has a control over private company. Like government of India has control over private company. That's a nature.
Okay.
That's
And sir, my last question is on what is the difference between a governor and a governor general, sir?
later we will discuss. Regulating act is there. From that we will discuss. Governor, governor general, viceroy. When the act comes, we will discuss.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sultan.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I have some doubt on Battle of Buxar. In that, you said that Keter Munera was commanded the battle, but later after the defeat, after the won, Robert Clive came, sir.
Yes.
Sir, then Robert Clive introduced the dual government. In that, the Indians were uh, doing the law and order. Then which ruler done the law and order? Sir?
No, I never said
Then
rules. One or two officers were appointed. The Indians were appointed. They look after law and order on behalf of the British. No rulers. Rulers were the British.
Oh, okay, sir. Then the Bengal Mughal they defeated. That's all. After that, they didn't come, sir.
Yes. After that, gradually they didn't come. After that, who started to rule directly is the company.
Okay, sir. Sir, then another doubt is, sir, regarding the regulating act, no, sir. So before that, the British government didn't interfere in the company's policy or the regulating anything, sir.
Yes, they didn't interfere except giving the permission to start company. That's all.
Okay, sir. After this, only they just got engaged with company.
After that?
After that act, only the British government got engaged, sir, right?
No, we will discuss what happened in the regulating. That we will discuss.
Okay,
Also, because many confusions are there. You wait till that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Tejashwin.
Good afternoon, sir. I have a doubt regarding Mikwasim as abolished Dastak, no, sir. It was forever, no, sir. It was abolished forever, no, sir. Or again, was it imposed on the British East India Company?
What happened is, as long as Indian rulers were there, they imposed the Dastak, gave Dastak. But now, who started to rule the Bengal itself is the British. If the British were ruling, whether do they need the Dastak?
No.
No, because themselves were the ruler. Earlier they worked under some other, but if themselves became the ruler, what happened is they could manipulate the trade and commerce at any extent. That's why not necessary. Simple.
Okay, sir. One more question, sir. Why did all the rulers flew to Awadh kingdom itself? Is there any significance behind it, sir? Either it could be Mikwazam or Shah Alam too.
Because simple. What is the reason means here Bengal, here is the Delhi. Delhi ruler came to Awadh because of Afghan pressure. Bengal ruler came to Awadh because of British pressure. Beyond that, nothing.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. That's it.
And another is all are Muslim rulers. A grand Muslim army was ready to expel the British in the Buxar, but unfortunately failed.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Shankari.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I'm audible.
Yes.
My doubt is Battle of Bluxett in 1764. He defeated in East India Company. He defeated these three rulers, sir. As right?
East India Company defeated
Hello.
these three rulers.
These three rules. Am I right?
Yes.
In that, you said in 1803 the company got the Delhi region and the Mughal rulers Shah Alam's pension of the company. Who gave the pension of the company, sir? Hello.
Gave pension to Shah Alam too.
Okay, sir. The company only gave to the Shah Alam the pension. Am I right?
Yes.
What is mean by Afghan ruler, sir?
Afghan ruler means
in Shah Alam, you say the invention of Afghan ruler. What is mean by Afghan ruler?
Afghan ruler means the person who ruled Afghanistan is called Afghan ruler.
Okay, sir. Another doubt is you said first you read my class note and then modern spectrum. In modern spectrum, in ancient, medieval period and modern period, these three periods will be in modern spectrum books. It's enough. It will be enough as
modern spectrum book is exclusively for modern India.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
So first of all, you read a class note and then modern India spectrum.
That's all.
That's all. For modern India. Hello.
For modern India, yes.
Modern India. For ancient and medieval period, what are the books, sir?
That's why ancient medieval R.S. Sharma is there. But next class I will tell. Inform it to all the students.
Okay, sir.
Next class again I will tell. When the
okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you so much.
Rupesh.
Hello, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Sir, is that important to read about the third battle of Panipat, which is related to Alamgir too?
Exactly. We have to study, but we will discuss with the Maratha side.
Okay, sir. Then Battle of Badwan, sir?
Participated. So we will discuss this matter from Maratha side.
Okay, sir. What about the Battle of Badwan, sir?
No need to study.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more doubt, sir. Is that after the Battle of Buxar, Mir Qasim is replaced again by Mir Jafar, sir?
Yes. Short period Mir Jafar was there. After that, in between, so many political works happened that you don't want. Again Mir Jafar came. Again Nazimuddaulah came. In between, small 1 or 2 rulers are there. No need of such rulers.
Okay, sir. Sir, what is the role of Dutch company in the Bengal? Sir?
Nothing, not that. The only thing trade.
Because I somewhere read that because of supporting the Dutch by Miss Zafar, British got tussled with him.
Slight
Is
help
that
of,
true, sir?
yes, slight up, but the Dutch presence in Bengal and other area was very, very less. In between gap, they were expelled and defeated by the British.
Okay, sir. Sir, last one, sir. Sir, it's my personal doubt. How to cover the art and culture part of the later Mughals along with the history part, sir? Is there
No,
any?
there's no later art and part culture after later Mughals, because they are not at all asking art and culture after later Mughals, because maximum art and culture questions are confined to ancient and medieval.
If it is so, how can I cover that part also, sir? Because
That
history, we are
there's
just
no
focusing
separate
about the rulers. And
for that alone. Yes, for that alone you have to get the support of internet.
okay,
For
okay,
that,
sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
no
Thank you so
standard
much, sir.
books are there regarding modernity.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Hmm? Swati.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
Sir, my doubt is regarding Farooq Shayar. So, why did he give royal formal to East India Company, sir?
Three doctors was sent to meet Farooq Shayar. He cured that stomach pain, so he gave.
And you said Farooq Shayar was killed by Said brothers. So, as Farooq Shayar gave the royal formal to East India Company, for that reason he was being killed by Said brothers, sir.
No, entirely different.
Then,
You do one thing, just to go through the video. That two are entirely different. I have taken 5 minute story of the dysentery, and again another 2 minute story of Farooq Shayar and Syed brother conflict with so many examples.
so my last doubt is regarding, so what you first you told to follow your notes, no, sir?
Yes.
So after your notes, by following your notes, by reading Vipin Chandra's, we will get very easy, no? So by reading.
Yes, Bipin Chandra, but as of now you have spectrum. It's better after my class notes go through the spectrum.
So as I don't have spectrum, but in the last class I asked a doubt that I don't have spectrum. Can I read Vipin Chandra, sir?
Yes, that's why I said if you don't have, as of now, since you don't have to buy spectrum, you can study NCERT book. After studying NCERT book, whatever the chapter you have not studied in NCERT, that alone you cover in spectrum.
Okay, by now following your notes, Vipin Chandra, by reading Vipin Chandra, we can get easy reading, no, sir? Easy understanding.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sharmila.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Sir, I actually want to know, am I in a limit or am I going beyond what is needed? I'm not going through the NCRT by Bipin Chandra. Instead, I'm going through one of his publications, The History of Modern India by Bipin Chandra. In that, I can find lots of information other than what you said. If we take Bahadur Shah, I can find lots of kings who are involved in it, like Jai Singh and Ajit Singh, and one of his land revenue system, Tal. So what are the, am I going with beyond what is needed, or should I
Not
go
yet.
with what you
Not
teach?
yet at all. That book what you are following it's a history optional textbook actually, Modern India. So don't study that Bahadur Shah, just confine to NCERT textbook and the spectrum. That's enough. Even in that, no need to study that kind of.
Will that be useful for prelims or?
No, it will not be useful, but you have to study length and breadth. Even for history optional, I would not suggest that textbook.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Arun.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, my question is about Kohinoor diamond, sir. Can you
Yes,
hear me, sir?
yes.
Sir, last month I read another India book written by S. Ramakrishnan. So in that book, he said like when Malik Kapoor invaded Madurai, so he stole the Kohinoor diamond from Madurai to Delhi. Is right, sir?
No, it's wrong actually. We will discuss. That's why one girl asked.
Okay, sir.
We will discuss in Punjab. While discussing in Punjab, I will discuss the entire story of Kohinoor diamond. It's not wrong. It's right. It's wrong.
So it's okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You have studied somewhat, but you miss that book. It's mentioned, but what you interpret is somewhat. If you again go through, you will get it. I will discuss this again completely in Punjab issues. Till that you wait.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.